the ball today, so I'll be able to.
Do you want to grab it for like 5 minutes?
I need to refresh that now. Get the new score bug on. There we go, new score bug's on. I've got one of the other dudes that's going to come join me a bit later on, so it'll just be me by myself to kick off, but I'll try and keep up with the score bug and hopefully keep up with some stats. Well, very good afternoon and welcome to the 2 o'clock kickoff game. Here is the Gungahlin Wolves all in their silver and white versus the Gladiators in the green and white in what's going to be quite a hot afternoon, a very still afternoon here at the Greenway Oval. I'm Matty Connor, your guide through the afternoon here as we see Sean Tokley puts this one into the sky and it's going to be received and returned here by Kyle Smith, and he picks it up and moves it right across the 30-yard line and brought down in a pile of dust. That's what you like. It is going to be a great afternoon here at the Gridiron. I'm joined very just casually by James Henneke, who's played in the earlier game. Do you want to grab a mic for a second?
Go.
Hang out with me for a bit, mate.
How are we?
Well, I'm doing all right. Mainly saw you for the first half. How's the knee real quickly? You
Yeah, it's going good. Took the second half off. Try to get a good break on it, and so I can come back next week even stronger against the Wolves.
Very good, mate. So this game has some implications because we've got the Gladiators who are currently coming into the game this week 0-4, but the Wolves, like your boys, undefeated, coming into the week 3 wins and that tie from the first week. Pretty important that the Wolves don't take this one lightly, right?
It is. The Glads have numbers today, as seen, but we have Jesse Date out at quarterback, which is unseen of.
Yeah,
but they have a lot of numbers today, which is really strong for them, so they're going to have some good rotations going through, so the Wolves got to watch out for that.
Yeah, and we were really lucky in the early game to have Jake Humphries up here, and he was describing a little bit to us about some of the changes that they've had in their squad, and because there are some of the teams from the Sydney comp have, they just haven't been able to get up and get running this year, and it's a smaller Sydney comp this year. Some of those fellas from those Western and Southern teams have found their way down here, and there's a couple turning up for them today. Jesse Date gets this snap after the penalty on the first play, and he runs forward back to pretty close to the line of scrimmage and manages to pop out the other side for a sec there, and will gain probably about 2 yards back of the penalty scrimmage from too many men on the field to open the game. The players, though, that they're dragging down here, the good thing about that is they're experienced players from competitive leagues, so they actually do bring up the experience level for their teammates. I
did notice, because when we played State a couple of years ago, I'm noticing a couple of the players that I played against in New South Wales, which is really good to see.
So here we are, second down, and we've still got about 12 to go with the ball just out inside the 30, and Date has to chase that one, hands it back to Butterfield, who pretty much gets back to the line of scrimmage. All that momentum lost when the ball is behind the quarterback. You've played a bit of quarterback. You know what it's like for the ball to run around.
The snap is very key. If the snap's not in the right spot, then the play's not going to work. Like, if the snap's out to the left, it's all up to the quarterback to get it and make the play. So it's very hard to hand that ball off if it's not straight down the middle.
Yeah, I think you'd be a good head to talk to a little bit about this, because you've sort of seen the game from a few different spots, a couple of different sides of Earth as well, having been overseas and played different leagues here.
Yes, it's very different.
What experience for a young man.
We try to have it.
We've got a third down and super long play here, about 13 yards to get, and Jesse Date gets a good snap this time, and he's starting to look over here to this side, but it's in front of Kyle Smith. He was on the out route to the sideline, falls incomplete very harmlessly, and his fourth down.
Right read there. Right read from Jesse. He noticed that he had the single high safety over the top, and that the corner was playing off on his receiver running out. Right read from Jesse. Just needed a bit closer to the receiver, maybe the receiver running a bit faster.
Well, there you go. We're going to bring up fourth down, and we'll see Luke Hall, who was away last week in your matchup with the Gladiators. He's back this week. He brings a lot to this club. He's clearly experienced. He's a captain of the team.
Definitely.
But plays a lot of positions.
It's when he's not in the game, you can very clearly see how unorganised it is most of the time. Because Luke, I think, guides the Glads defence on how they play. And last week, in his absence, they did very well at keeping us, but without that special key, I think it's where it goes.
Well, he gets a very tricky little snap here, but it bounces well for him. And sadly, though, his punt gets a little bit of a Wolves bounce, and he was chased around a little bit here. The ball's going to end up right about where the first down marker would have been, and the Wolves are going to come out for their first possession, starting with the ball on their own. On the attacking 38-yard line.
This Wolves offense is a very good offense with Matt Phillips leading it over here. We've seen him come out a lot of times leading the charge, transitioning from a wide receiver the last couple of years over. So it's good to see him out there balling out.
He has had a heck of a start to the season too. You've got to
Amazing
watch it as a
start.
spectator, but also you've got to watch it from the sideline as he's had some games where he's thrown 4 or 5 touchdowns. He starts this one by getting a little bit of contact from his running back on the way in and gets this pass off to Dugdale. And Dugdale's going to truck up the field and gain himself a bunch of yards. That ball's going to be spotted about the 30 and give him about a 2nd and 2. That opens the entire playbook.
That really does. That middle screen done there by them really opened it up. Good block on the outside and really showing their strength in the slot receivers.
That's a favourite little play, like you run little screen plays like that in the offense that you've been a part of as well. And it's at this level, you see it be quite successful.
I think screens are a very good way to open up the defense and the offensive playbook. It drags the defense down, leaving over the top open. You could fake the screen. Now here we go, Damon. There we go. Damo on the little jailbreak brought down. But as I was saying, it opens up the whole playbook. It drags that defense down, leaving maybe a fake screen to a wheel route over the top. It's a very good play.
Well, and it gives defenses a lot to look at. While maybe, look over here, well, I'm going to kill you somewhere you're not even looking, right? There's a lot of misdirection.
Exactly. Yes, that's a very good point.
So we see Smith get about a 4-yard gain. It is enough to move the chains. And again, just a nice catch near the line of scrimmage and let the athletic receiver do what they do best. Puts Phillips with the ball now just on the 25-yard line. And he drops back and immediately looks across the side and sees on his right side Nick Mattress, and it just
straight through the hands. Mattress had that little hitch there while Damon Smith had to go on the outside. It was very, very well read from Phillips. They both tagged onto Damo and then kept Mattress wide open.
Yeah, and the thing about that ball going through your hands there when you're the receiver, it's, God, you've done everything right. You've gotten open, and the ball's even hitting you in the hands, and it can be a bit disappointing to see that one just slip through, and I bet you your quarterback gives you a bit when you get back to the huddle.
Of course, as a receiver, I know that feeling far too well.
So we see a 3rd down play from Matt Phillips, and he moves the pocket, and this time finds Mattress. He does a great job bringing it in. And, man, he finds a lot of space in tight spaces and gets himself down to the 10-yard line, inside the 10-yard line.
Had the little jet motion coming across, which tells Phillips whether it be man or zone with the defender following him around. Gives him the perfect read to hit Mattress on a short route for an easy gain over there.
Yeah, this is just the wonderful experience, too, of when you've got a quarterback who's sort of seen a lot and then the receiver who's so fast. Matt Phillips, I've seen him in training, too. He just treats the training with the intensity of a game, and he's using that motion to learn what he can about the defense before the ball goes. This time the handoff. This is Thompson running up the middle. Sam Thompson is held up for a minimal gain, maybe a yard. They don't have Jake Christie there today, and it's good to see Sam Thompson back in a running role. It's been since he was in juniors, since we've really seen him tote the ball.
Yeah, of course. I remember playing against him when I was in juniors, and he was a very dominant running back. And I think it's good to see him getting some reps without Christie here today, especially.
Yeah, it's good to see him in high leverage situations too here where, you're in the red zone, super important area to have good ball security and get the most out of each run, and it's nice to see they're trusting him with the ball. They've moved him in motion on one side. They move him back to the other side of Phillips, and then he gets the snap, bobbles it a little bit, and he's going for the corner. He's seen Mattress available and gets it to him.
Perfect.
Somehow he found so much space out there.
They both swallowed in on Damo going on the inside, which left him perfectly wide open. You saw you had that corner slant combo, even the out slant, real quick out, and that was just a perfect read from Phillips there.
Bingo, just like that. The Wolves add 6 to the score, and as that play's developing from up here, it's deceiving, isn't it? Because it does sort of look like that the trailing defender, Carl Sullivan, 42, was much closer to Mattress than he was.
Of course.
And Mattress turns, makes the catch, has time to land. The defender's not even there by that stage.
Yeah. Looking from up here, it's much different than it is down in the field. You don't actually realise how much space you have there as a quarterback throwing the ball in.
That is a blocked kick. Sean Tokley got everything right. The ball was down, the laces were out, but a fantastic piece of pressure by the defensive special team unit.
Very nicely done there.
Wow, so the Wolves off to a great start with a touchdown on their opening drive. They moved the ball with some efficiency. An extra point after the touchdown blocked. So sadly, that goes for Tokley saying, well, he's 0 for 1. He definitely didn't do anything wrong there.
You don't hear that very often.
No, you don't.
When you hear Tokley's name, you don't hear 0 1 very often.
He's made a few this year drop kicking him, so he can make them.
that was crazy watching that game. Mate, unbelievable.
So straight out of the gate, we've got Matt Phillips, 4 of 5 passing attempts already with a touchdown. Nick Mattress 2 for 21 with his touchdown. Other receivers on that drive are Dugdale and Smith, each with a catch. The 7-yard touchdown catch is what the difference in the score is here, as we see. Ball about to be put back into the sky by Tokley, and the second drive of the game now for the Gladiators. This ball is he's chasing in. It's gotten under Norris. He gets back to pick it up, and now he has to turn upfield. He does well to get back. It's a live ball situation, but he's brought down at the 20, and not quite the start to the drive you're hoping for.
Exactly. Well, now it's the second drive for the Glads, so we expect to see some things. Jesse Date read that defense, and now he will come out and plan accordingly to what they have. And now that we know that the Wolves have been in a cover one, the last drive for the offense, we'll see how it goes, and Jesse Date will plan accordingly for that.
Well, and this is the interesting thing, right? So Jesse Date, he spent a lot of his life playing as a defensive back, and now here he is in a position where we've mostly seen him come out as a quarterback this year, and a quarterback whose job is to kind of, make the short area passes, but also shift the pocket, occasionally run with it. I think it's a pretty deliberate thing that he's starting over Bailey McManus today.
Just had offside on the kicking team there, so that brings that ball up an extra 5 yards for the Glads here.
Nice catch.
That's exactly what they need there. So now we see Jesse coming out, leading the offense.
So it'll be interesting to see how he manages this. We've got Bailey McManus not dressed today. He's not going to be on the field, and if they do need a little injection at quarterback later, they've actually got one of these fellas who's come down from the Sydney League, who's actually registered with Gladiators, who is going to take that role up as their emergency. As we get the pass in the handoff in the backfield to Butterfield, who is just stopped immediately. Excellent penetration on that defensive line. And that is number 57, Dave O'Brien, their defensive captain.
Dave kills it every game. Every game he's just there. It's hard to believe that he's that athletic there.
He's got the dual role. He's a captain. Yeah. He's also their defensive coordinator. And here he is out in the thick of it, calling the plays and making a play himself. So he's just a man of many hats.
It's amazing.
And hard to slow down. He's not the youngest bloke, but he plays like he's got a lot of youth to him.
Oh, it's very hard, especially coming up against them as an offensive player.
So here we are. We're in the second and about 12 situation here, and Jesse Date gets a low snap. He immediately moves the pocket out to his left. He has the option of Butterfield, but keeps it and gets a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. We'll give him 3.
Really love that play there. That gives him an opportunity to read the defense there with Butterfield. Butterfield coming on that pitch relation on the outside, giving him the option to give it off to him or keep it himself, and I think he made the right read there with Butterfield getting covered up.
Here's the thing in second and long. Your next play doesn't have to get all the yardage, right? You can just chew it off. You got third down. You probably don't even need to get all on this one. If you can get close enough, you might go for it on fourth, right?
Of course. I think on second and third down, you just give that chance to take that shot. Read the defense so that if it does come to third and long or even fourth and long, you can just take that shot down the field. And here we go.
This play is broken down pretty quick, and all his options are so far away that Date really doesn't have the chance to pass, and he has to take the tackle. But he does get a slight gain, maybe a yard, so it's not death sentence, but it gives you 4th and 8. Not ideal. I'm expecting we'll see Luke Hall punt this one away.
I believe that they will definitely punt that one. That was the right play for that situation. You had on the two sides closest to us, you had the 2 verts, and then you had verts on the backside as well, which is perfect for this with their cover 1 that the Wolves are playing. Gives them the right opportunity to make a read. I just think that pocket broke down a little bit too early for Jesse there, making him having to roll out.
By the time he'd rolled out too and was in a position where he could have passed, we know he's not a trained. No, it's not what he was in the team for to be
not
their
the
starting
strongest
quarterback.
passer.
He's not going to lob a 40-yard ball. So
of course.
Then that option is gone. Your 4 verts. As a receiver, what do you do in that situation?
For me, coming back on 4 verts, if I see my quarterback rolling out, I'm definitely going to break back down towards him, because then that gives me the opportunity to take my drop step after a catch and read the defense.
Now here we go with the punt. It is returned from the 35, and Nick Mattress does a dipsy doodle, runs in with his own man and still finds space. He gets around the edge here. A nice tackle at the end there by Jordan Nikora, and he is down here from the UC Lions. The University of Sydney Lions. You can see by his gold helmet. Very experienced player. In fact, one of the more experienced players that we're going to see on the field this season. He has played forever and in some very, very skillful plays.
I do remember playing against him down in Wollongong, and he was a vicious player. It was one of the worst times marking up against me. Very hard.
we're going to see him chiefly on defense today, but he will be the emergency quarterback if they need to make a change there for Jesse Date, and a vastly experienced player on offense as well.
Definitely see that.
So we see this drive for the Wolves. This is their second drive of the day, and they're going to start this one from the 45-yard line going toward halfway, coming out from their own end. And Matt Phillips has got his receivers organised, three at the top,
right.
and he's coming to the one-on-one down the bottom. Nice hands by Damon Smith.
Incomplete,
but he is
stepped out of bounds.
First foot down needs to be in the field. Don't have to get both. This is not the NFL.
That has been the same story for me all season. Those sideline catches are very hard for us to do, but he was out of bounds there, stepped on the line. You have to be in the field with 1 foot. It's not the NFL. You don't have to have two, just one.
Everything else about that, though, beautiful body control in the air. Really watch that ball into the gloves, yeah?
Very nice late hands coming up to the ball, especially. Had his eyes on it the whole time and knew where he was on the field. Just jumped that little bit too late for the ball, causing him to drift a little bit out of bounds.
So what's the benefit of getting your hands up late?
Telling the DB whether you have the ball or not. So you could be running down the field and the ball could be coming to you, and that DB's still looking at you. If you put your hands up late, then that might cause a DPI. You might get your pass interference call on you. So that might be beneficial for you.
Well, there you go. So we've got a defensive penalty on that too, which moves the ball up. It's now 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10. Mattress is in motion, and the handoff is, it's a fast handoff out to that right side. It cuts back inside. This is Lionel Dorge, or as they just call him, Lion, the recruit from New Caledonia. And he is a bundle of energy. I like seeing him get a few more carries. We haven't seen him take more than 2 carries any game this year. And boom, look at that. Immediately breaks through, picks up 12 yards, gains.
Very nice call from the offense putting Mattress in motion across the field, giving Phillips a chance to read what the defense is doing, whether to hand it off or potentially throw the ball.
Well, and now you've given the only other rushing attempt you've had today, it's 1 yard, things collapse quickly. Now you've shown, well, we can actually escape you crashing the middle. We can extend that. We've got a running back who could do that. It just gives this Gladiators defense more to think about. This time they've got Mattress in motion. They actually pitch it to him, and he has got some speed on this jet sweep. He gets a nice block from Damon Smith here on the near side, and then manages to use his own stop and start to get the ball moving.
Call the whistle.
He's going to be marked down. The clock is going to keep running. He's marked down in the field, and the ball came out after. But another first down play here. Gain of 13 yards.
Amazing call there from the offense. That's really, really well done. As I said last time, they brought Mattress in motion, but this time they handed it off to him. And because the defense didn't move last time, that gave them a wide open call to give it to Mattress because they knew he would have the numbers opportunity on the outside.
Now we see the Centurions offense do this well. That kind of will give you a look at what we might do, and then is it a decoy or is it an option? And it really makes the defense think.
Depends on the motion that we run. Sometimes we have an option on it, and sometimes it's just there as a decoy for Bo or I to read the defense. And that's perfect read. Very nicely done from Luke Hall there.
That is an experienced defender, just not panicking and staying on his assignment. Yeah. There was options for Phillips to do something with the ball.
Had the read option there, so the read option is when that DN comes down, he can choose whether to keep it or hand it off to the running back. But Luke, with that experience, sat there flat-footed, perfectly waiting to judge Phillips whether he's going to keep it or hand it off, and perfect loss of some yards there for him.
Yeah, I imagine you've got to get up pretty early in the morning to trick Luke Hall in your backfield. He's fast in there, but he doesn't panic. Doesn't throw the whole kitchen sink at you straight away. Things move slowly for him. So Matt Phillips with his hand gestures, which is the silent count. He gets this ball out to the right side. A nice catch and a turn and down that sideline. Heavy contact from Bennett as he gets over the sideline. But Jack Marshall, we haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, but immediately straight back in the offense and looking great. First down.
Very nice out route there. Very good read from Phillips and perfect ball placement there. And then just Jack putting the burners on and trying to get that extra yards after the catch.
Yeah, we reckon he probably got about 14 yards on that one, and we are at another first down situation here with the ball now. It's outside the 10. You're probably at about the 15, so you can easily get a first down without scoring, and gives them a little bit of cushion here to still be able to keep the plays going.
I'd argue they tried punch it in on this one or the next couple plays. I don't think they'd want to get another set of first downs. I reckon Phillips would just want to punch it in.
Take a shot, and he drops back. He's immediately looking to the backside of the end zone, and it is sailing just comfortably over Mattress's head, but also gladly over the defender Bennett's head.
So that was a good read there. You notice how the slot receiver coming out of Mattress had that corner, and then Damo had that little hitch. We call that a smash combo. And that was a perfect read because that corner on Damo came straight down, leaving Mattress open, just that touch bit overthrown there.
So here we go. We've got 5 of 8 from Matt Phillips so far. His favourite target had been Nick Mattress on that first drive. He's looking for him again there, and I can see why. I don't think that'll be the end of the Phillips to Mattress connections.
Absolutely.
He's got his receivers split down here, nice and wide, but at the top of the screen they're bunched together, and then they use that as the decoy to hand off to the lighter box, and a nice run from Lionel Dorge up the middle. We'll give him a yard.
Nice. I love that formation that they came out with, having those 2 receivers split and then stacked on the top side. That really gives gives Matt Phillips an opportunity to read the defense, what they're going to do, and then hand the ball off to make that secure a couple yards.
Yeah, he's certainly doing a good job of using that formation and then using motion within that formation to try and get a little bit of a read of the Gladiators mail about, well, what are you presenting me with while you're lined up? I can't always tell, but once I inject some movement or change where I put people, you'll tell me.
I'd expect Phillips to try punch this one in with the 3rd down, 3rd and 9. I'd expect a little, there we go, have the silent count.
And there goes Sam
There we
Thompson.
go,
He's got space, and he's going to take the contact as he dives into the end zone.
Going to be in for a touchdown.
What an excellent play call, and a great formation to do that. Again, everyone's split, and you're using the athleticism of the running back.
It's precisely right. And credit to their O-line. That was some amazing blocks. And then Sam reading his blocks very well, taking that outside of the bum of the O-line of the tackle, and straight into the end zone.
Unreal. That is their second drive, the second score, and now we see them out at a 12-point lead with another attempt to come. They're going to run Tokley out there again. And I reckon there's been a conversation on the sideline about how to defend for this kick, because we saw the Gladiators bring it and get a block on the first one.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how they react to this kick now, whether they might walk in a bit earlier on his comeback. But we'll just find out.
Here we go. Hands are up. The little ringing of the hands is the silent signal. And he gets it up and through, and that is Mr. Automatic, Sean Tokley.
There we go, 1 and 1 now, 1 and 1.
So the scoring play there is a 14-yard rush right up the middle from Sam Thompson. And with the extra point successful, we see the score jump out to 13 points to 0. And now that the Gladiators are about to get the ball back, the hole's a bit bigger. They've only had the 2 defensive series, and both of them have resulted in touchdowns. So there'll be a bit of conversation, I'd imagine, on this near sideline now about, okay, what have we seen? How do we slow this down? Because Wolves are great exponents of quickly identifying where their opportunities are and just torching you for it.
I think Phillips is very good at reading his defense and diagnosing what he's going to do. And from these 2 drives that he's just had, I think right now in his head he's broken it down and he's made it very perfect. Jackson, why are you standing offside?
So here we go. We're going to get this ball in the air as Ray Nang also jumped forward. And they're going to let this run. It's Brady Norris who's got the return. He takes it from about his 10. He's out over the 20, 25, 30. He's just hit a hole and just keeps on charging. He gets out over the 35.
On there. Tried to run over.
And
very nicely done.
Nice tackle from Jackson Reed in the end to bring him down in the silver helmet. And they're going to start this drive in very nice field position. You love starting across the other side of the 30 from a kickoff.
Of course. As an offensive player, definitely side of the 30 going towards in. It's definitely optimal, 30 plus. You don't want to be starting back, having your back straight on that end zone, hey?
No, they've got a nice cushion here. They're going to mark it at the 37, and this is the best field position we've seen them start with. It'd be nice to see them put a few plays together. I'd like to see them at least convert a first down on this drive and really try and start some good momentum.
Yeah. Of course, I'd just like to see Jesse just put a couple plays through and start building the confidence, gaining some yards. Doesn't have to be shots all the time. Nope. Just gain some little yards and then start dragging that defense down and dragging them in. With a pass play over the middle, perfect ball, nice straight off.
Really nice play as he gets it into Dave Casey, who keeps on charging and pushing his way up the field, and he ends up gaining enough yardage to get him into the 41 on the other side of halfway. Excellent work. That's a 24-yard reception.
Very nicely done there. Slant. That was very good. Very well led by Jesse Date. Very well led pass off that slant. And that was just superb yards after carry. Not going down, continuing to push his feet onto the ground and just powering through.
Yeah, really nice from the receiver too to take the contact and continue to move forward. Dave Casey in the blue helmet Beautiful job. Date now, he's 1 of 2. He's looking around, and as this play breaks down, he does a smart thing. He tucks it under his arm and just chases behind Tommy Stevenson, who gets a nice block for him. And Date can slide in, gets almost to the first down, but also draws the penalty because of the late contact.
We see Nick Mattress on the ground there. Got a little thing to the head as he came down to try and make that tackle. That's what's drawn that flag there. But very nicely read by Jesse. All his receivers were covered up, and he had Kane in front of him, and he gave the call to go, go, go. Kane made a block. Jesse read it and came back inside, and then he made some couple extra yards. Yeah, and
I mean, a beautiful work too there from big Tommy Stevenson, who, you know, the longer a play goes, and it's all happening behind you as an offensive lineman, to have that awareness to sort of see how the players in front of him are reacting and throw an extra block. We had some flags on the end of that play, and I think it is going to end up being against the offense the way that everyone's lined up here, because the referee who's going to walk off the yardage is facing back. So there you go.
Back there, so I guess we'll have a look how that goes, how that plays out. It's still good yards for them. Look, they've only, what, 1 yard back from where they started?
Yeah, slant. So it's not a death sentence, but also I was a little surprised. I thought maybe the penalty flags might have been coming in just for contact on the sliding runner, and that even if there was a defensive penalty, that those two would be offset. They'd offset, and we just go back to run the play again. But Gladiators are up against it now. The 2nd and 11, and they've got the ball into the hands of Date, who heads off to Butterfield, and I love watching this guy run. Hair flowing.
Steam train.
Only 1 speed, and he gets a gain of about 2 yards there.
Top gear, straight down the field. Very good read to the outside of the tackle and getting that extra couple yards on the end of the carry.
So here we are on 3rd down, and these Wolves, their defense has been pretty stout, but we've seen they can be had. We've had a 1st down on this drive so far, and 3rd and 8, not impossible that we're going to see another. I'd be treating this like 2nd down if I'm the Gladiators too, because I'm in the positive end of the field, and you know, how much further am I going to punt it? I might as well try and give my team the chance to keep the drive.
3rd and 8, and you're in the half that you want to score on, so I'd just be going for it these couple plays. On that 4th down especially, I would not risk punting it when you're so close to the end zone and risking them getting that extra 20 yards. I'd just try run it out.
Wow.
You see Butterfield just get stopped straight away there.
That is an excellent piece of defensive work to come off that edge. It's number 57, Dave O'Brien, who's playing just out of his skin at the moment. He's just got all the energy of someone who doesn't look like they're playing in 26-degree heat with fuck all wind.
Mate, it was hot out there. That's all I could say.
Yeah, it is hot and hot. I mean, you played half the game. You came off dripping in sweat. You look like you'd lost half your body weight.
I mean, in those black uniforms especially that we run, it's terrible. But no, it is hot out there. And once you start running around and burning some of your calories off, it's just all important to start hydrating, getting your water in on you. So it's very good that I see the Glads that are doing some rotations, getting their guys off, getting some water in and getting them very hydrated and ready to go. Yeah,
water, sugar, salts. Got to make sure you keep them up the whole way, because you lose a lot. And just water's not going to do it on a day like this too. It's not the hottest day we're going to have all year, but it's the hottest one we've had so far.
Definitely. And it's only going to get hotter from here. We got 6 potential more games to go, and it's only going to get hotter from here as we get further into summer.
Now, after the play, between things here, we've had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on a Gladiator. I haven't caught the number, but they're marching it off another 15 yards, and that to me is going to be a drive killer. They were already at about 11 yards to get. Now it's going to be 26 yards to get. That hurts. It's 4th down.
Arguably here, you could make the decision to punt it or make the decision to just absolutely go. Jesse will take a timeout here, and he's going to decide to probably put the punt team on here with 50-plus yards to go to the end zone.
Yeah, well, it almost feels like 50-plus yards to go to get the 1st down. It might as well be. Not everyone's going to have a play for 4th and 26. So.
It's a long way to go,
Yeah. So this drive had shown some promise, now comes to a bit of an end, and some penalties, which are really disappointing. But it does say to me that the Gladiators can get the ball moving. They're in a 2-score hole, and if their defense can hold up at the end of this drive, give the ball away to the Wolves here. If their defense can hold up, they should feel like they've got some positivity about how they get back into the fight.
Absolutely. If the defense can shut down the Wolves' offense and Matt Phillips, then that'll be the best option for them, and then the Wolves will punt, or if they stay in their own 50, then they won't be, and they will be adding an extra yards, and it will be a turnover. And then the Glads can use it as an optimal drive and make their way down the field.
We'll see how it all goes. The good thing about the way that the refs are clearly, we've got a similar troop of refs every week here, and they know the players and they understand the situation, so they're giving these timeouts a little bit extra time, giving players a real chance to catch their breath and get a little bit of extra water on and take the hats off as well, because it does get quite hot inside a helmet out there. The play's now going to resume with Luke Hall back looking like he's ready to punt it away, and the golden gloves and helmet of Nick Mattress ready to run this one back. Do you get the shudders every time you see Mattress back there in a position to return?
I just feel like Mattress plays like a Madden player. He just knows what he's doing, and he's just like someone's controlling him the whole time. But he's perfect to be back there, knows what he's doing. There we go.
Hall
Does his little Sally quick. But
there we go.
There we go. We'll see how that punt that ends up on the 39 for them. So this will be a good opportunity for the Wolves to drive it down, but we have a couple flags on the play.
A couple of flags, so we'll see if this play stands. But as it is at the moment, the ball is out on the 39-yard line, and we'll get the call from the white cap referee. Not the most yards on the punt. In fact, didn't get it back to where they would have needed to go for a first down, but sometimes it is preferable to just take the yardage than to give the ball to a dynamic returner with space.
Well, I think Mattress is definitely one of the best returners in this game.
There we go. So not so bad. They're going to end up with 10 bonus yards on that one, which is helpful because of a hold by the returning team. And generally when you see a flag like that on a kick play like that, it's often it's just small things they can do wrong, isn't it?
Down to the 29. Let's see how they play it out. Phillips is going to take the charge here, and let's see how they go.
This is so typical of the Wolves to jump out to an early lead and not look too flustered doing it. But this is the worst starting field position they've had all day.
Exactly.
I also just get the feeling that's not going to bother Matt Phillips at all.
Arguably, no. He's just going to take it as it's anywhere on the field. And he's going to play to his strengths as he drops back for a pass, pumps, fakes down to Mattress, who will be down at the 46.
Yeah, he's going to get just a really comfortable 16 yards from that, or maybe even 17. And if that ball is thrown with a little bit more air under it, I mean...
Little bit of a lead. He had space. He would have made that there as we had our little slant corner combination there from Damo as well underneath. So he had two reads there, and as we saw, number 21, the safety on the slot just followed Mattress out, but didn't keep up with him and kept on his inside. Yeah,
so again, if that ball is just that, got a little bit more run on it, and Mattress can keep his feet, anything could happen. We get the handoff here to Lionel Dorge, who takes contact, turns upfield, gets away from it, and is eventually brought down by Justin Dunder-Smith and all, but for a gain of about 12 yards. He is showing some absolute toe down there. It's his second 12-yard run.
Down to the 42 now, so easy first down for them there. As we saw, the Glabs were making some late substitutions. So Matt Phillips saw that and used it and optimized and used it very well to his advantage.
And look at the Lion go. He's got 3 carries for 25 yards and just showing it's not all about the passing game. Matt Phillips 5 of 8 in the passing game already, but 5 rushes and 4 of them are gone for more than 10 yards so far with this running game today. Matt Phillips gets that ball in the silent count. He has that clap, and he gets it across the middle. A nice catch here across the middle. Oh, fantastic contact from Brody Norris. But a lovely catch by Jack Marshall.
See, we had that little slant out there, so that's a very good combination because then it causes that slot defender to follow out and gives that slant that wide open opportunity. Perfect read from Matt Phillips there to just push it in.
Doing a lovely job as we hit the end of the first quarter. We see the scoreline is the Gungahlin Wolves 13 and Gladiators 0. Scoring plays in that first quarter, a 7-yard Nick Mattress catch from Matt Phillips. The extra point on that one blocked, but then later in the quarter, saw Sam Thompson dive over on a 14-yard run right up the middle. It was like Moses part of the seas. The extra point from Sean Tokley there, successful. And to end that quarter, a 17-yard catch. A second reception for Jack Marshall today. He's 2 for 31 in the passing game.
Exceptional from Jack. Very good start to the day. I just expect more things from him in the future now.
Well, and they're off to such a nice start. Matt Phillips has completed 7 of his 10 passes. He's getting that ball moving down the field. The running game as well. We've seen 4 of their 6 rushes go for more than 10 yards as well. There's real ease of movement. And we were just saying before that down in their own end, will this bother Matt Phillips at all? Well, no, they're already on the 25-yard going in, and it's been so methodical and crisp.
They've already gained, yeah. So I don't think he stays in his head, stays in by himself, and I don't think that would affect him no matter where they are on the field.
Do you think he kind of actually likes having a bit of a long field so he can
exercise
all his options?
I think he would. Opening that playbook up for him and giving him those opportunities is the best thing. He loves it. So we'll see how he goes now with this as they bring Damo Mattress out to the right side.
Yeah.
And once again, Jack out to the left.
Well, and he's got Doug Dale out there with him in the big silver helmet as well. But
the junior from last year.
Yeah, and he's really stepped up. He's such got a big frame on him, a nice target. And we see this nice little pass route to Damo, but he's immediately sniffed out by Jordan Nakora.
There we go. Little jailbreak screen, but that just fell down there as Jordan just slipped straight through the two blocks that were on him, which is exceptional from him.
So a nice catch, but a 2-yard loss, and we find ourselves in 2nd and 12 on the 27-yard line. Mate, that's the experience of someone like Nakora who's just seen it all. You can't trick him.
See, a jailbreak is just it's a 50-50% chance for a good play or a bad play. You know, your box could fall straight through and they could just break straight down on you, or you could get a good yard or even a touchdown off it. And I've seen plenty of them from Damo, and
I've seen plenty of them from you, mate. I was going to say, I reckon I've seen 2 this year already.
It's a very good play to open up and diagnose what the defense is going to do about it.
Yeah, then it turns your receiver into a runner as well. It almost like is an extension of your running game. So we see Matt Phillips drop back. He's looking over to his left, and he's found a nice target in Nick Mattress. He catches, puts on the brakes, picks up the speed again, but Brody Norris is going to throw him over the sideline for a 12-yard gain.
On the 12 yards, I'd say.
Yeah, and this is the 4th first down on the drive. We see they've completed 7 first downs on drive so far this half. And just, again, this is that rhythm.
Very, very nice combination over there with Damo doing the go, leading the 2 defenders out, and Mattress with the wheel route underneath, leaving them wide open.
Mattress 4 for about 50 yards already as well, and looking dangerous after he had that first one just go straight through his hands. He's been money in the bank ever since. We can see Phillips is just cheering and trying to get some movement from that defensive line to try and help pull them a few extra free yards. And we see some flags, but this time
have a false start there on the offense.
The offense have reacted to it.
That was Jordan coming down, faking the blitz and then heading back out. Phillips was reading that very, very well, but then the O-line just stepping back the tiniest bit of movement will get those refs to call it.
When you've got a player like that coming down that line at you too, then you're really relying on your offensive line holding. But it's not easy because you can already see that pressure and you're expecting the ball to go any moment.
He looks like he's just going to burst straight through it.
Yeah, no doubt. Very experienced. We're at 1st and 15 with the ball in a fake to Dorge, and we've got Phillips running for his life, but he's just going to throw it at the line judge on the far side.
He's just going to dump and run there, so he got the pressure straight up the middle. And I think he was looking at Mattress on that one, but then saw he got blown up there with his little reroute there from Jordan, and it was just perfect. Phillips just rolling out and then dropping it out of bounds. There's not much you can do in that situation, and I think he'd rather just drop it instead of losing a couple yards.
Well, and in that too, he doesn't know that it's a defensive offsides penalty. When you know it's a defensive offsides penalty, what do? You break for the end zone or try and find some space and look back, right? Yeah. Nobody knew that. There was a little movement for on the offensive line as well, so that's probably what Matt's seeing as well. So they haven't blown it dead. The play rolls. He's just trying to play safety, but they're going to end up just replaying the down here at 1st and 15.
Of course, both flags were offset there because we had one on the defense, one on the offense. So they're just going to end up replaying, and we're going to see what they come out with now.
So the ball on the 16-yard line or 17-yard line now. This is kind of the space on the field where we see the Wolves. They like to be creative. It's not a lot of space, kind of advantage defense. You've got less to defend, but
of course,
the speed of this Wolves team.
There we go, false start there from the defense.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of players over the line, and I think one of them may have touched a
offensive
Wolf,
player,
which will do it. And
that'll get 5 yards.
It'll get you the 5 yards back that we lost earlier, and all of a sudden now it's going to be 1st and 10 again from the 12.
Well, you saw Phillips there clapping his hands madly. He was trying to get that center to snap it because he knows once those guys are offside, if the center snaps it, it's a free play. The receivers go downfield. The only way that there can be a turnover if it's a pick-off.
Well, and they can pick it off, but it won't stand, which is the beauty, right? You know,
it's a free play. You just get whatever you want.
Play.
I just want to go there and try to get it deep as down as you can because you can score straight off it.
I like that when you watch Matt Phillips do his pre-snap.
Double motion there. And now they're confused on what they're going to do. Phillips trying to give orders out. Going to continue to run the play. Give it out to Mattress on the out, and he's going to get
Matty Morrison with great contact.
On by Matty Morrison.
Matty Morrison. It's good to have him back in the game too. He hasn't played really at all this year, and it's
missed a couple of weeks. He has.
Nice for him to get some
Noticed
contact.
that out on the field especially.
And that's a gain of Not again. It's a loss of yard. And it's the first time we've seen Mattress with the ball behind the line of scrimmage with really nowhere to go. The corner not reacting at all to the shift of Damo Smith running inside. He saw what was developing.
Well, there were two
held
shifts
true.
there. Mattress and Damo both came in, and it seemed there was a bit of a confusion there as you hear Phillips yelling at them to get set and get on the line. So there's a bit of misunderstanding, I'd argue.
And here we go. Now we've got more common motion that you often see from the Wolves,
Mattress
and they
Jet,
flood
this
that
is
side.
Flood.
He was looking like he was going to get the ball towards the back of the end zone there, and he was going to try and lead Mattress in, but instead he checks it down to Dugdale, who's much closer to the first down marker, and we're going to get the ball down in a 3rd and about 1 situation now on the 6-yard line. Oh, not even. It's on about the 4-yard line.
That seems to be one of Phillips's go-to plays there, having Mattress Jet across the formation and into a flood, which gives him 3 options, and then the backside coming across if he needs a late read, which I think is in this scenario would be a perfect play for it.
Well, and it makes all your options pretty safe, right? That as soon as something's open, you can see it. You've got none of them are long, but if nothing's open, you've also got the safety of the sideline nearby. So it seems like a really high percentage Jason Ray kind of play to draw up. So we're 3rd and goal in the position where you can get a first down without scoring the touchdown here. And Mattress goes on the long motion, but they hand it off on the inside. And Lyon is into the end zone. Have we got the signal? Yes, we do from the far side. From the line judge, the white cap referee confirms that, and we have a Gungahlin Wolves touchdown to push it out to 19 points.
Not much you could have done there. There's a gap wide open there, and he was just steaming straight through. I don't think there was many people in this league who would be able to stop that.
I definitely am not in the business of stopping bodies. This is one of the reasons why I played so little defense. But right through the middle there, there's big bodies in there to move that pile, and you can see that there's just such a definite benefit to having guys like JK and Ethan Morton, who got back into the lineup last week, all just playing at their absolute strength. Will Thompson, the other Thompson brother out there on that left side, and that's where that play starts. And Dodge then is able to bring it back the other way.
It's amazing work from the Wolves there to score on that drive. It was a very long drive, arguably, from them. I think that would be longer than they would have hoped.
Yeah, it was a 71-play drive, 71-yard drive. It felt like a
71
plays, drive.
That's the whole game, man.
It felt like it. But a really well-constructed drive. We see Tokley complete that extra point in the way that you would expect.
That's 2 of 1 now. 2 and 1.
There he is, 20 on the scoreboard, James. And, mate, this is one of these situations now where when you're on the side who is in the hole, it's getting hot out there. A lot of things you have been doing out there haven't been working. It's hard to keep the positive momentum flowing. It can be hard to get back on track.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I was on the Glads right now, I'd just be focusing on making those little yards. Yeah, just getting completions and building the confidence up. Not taking a shot down the field every time. Just little ones, slants, hitches, even outside runs, stretches maybe. Just trying to make it little yards down the field, building up the confidence and making them feel better about how they're going to go.
Yeah, they're also missing on defence, and it's sort of hasn't been said so far that Jack Panaccio, who had their 2 defensive scores last week and accumulated all their points, he's actually out today. And we expect him to be back next week. It's a really big day on the Gladiator calendar next week because they're pretty sure they can give the Stars all they can handle next week as well. So they've circled that one as one where they could potentially draw themselves back in, really right back into the fight when it comes to the 3rd place contest for the ladder this year. It's the first year for a while we've had a second playoff, and that is a live playoff. At the moment, the Stars hold that spot, but one great result from this Gladiators team, and all of a sudden that's all back up for negotiation. So they've circled that date on the calendar as one they think they can really use to try and press that issue.
100%. I 100% think they can. With the way that they've been playing the last couple of weeks, especially against, I saw it last week on the field, and now I'm seeing it now on their defense. They're shutting down a lot, and their offense is slowly moving the ball down the field. They just build a bit more momentum. They'll get it. I can see them winning next week against the Stars.
Yeah. And at this stage, now you just want to see them do something positive. The way this game is going, it might be hard for them to get the momentum, to get the result to change. Excellent contact there from Reece Cheetah.
You can hear that up here, hey. Hear that up here.
But what you want to do, I guess, is use this as the opportunity to really exercise your offense. The score hasn't gone the way you're wanting, and it will be difficult to overturn that, but keep on working on showing that you can do positive things and you can execute your playbook, yeah?
I think they just need to not drop their heads now. Keep their head in the game, you know. Second the Wolves see that they drop their heads, they're going to take advantage of that, and they're just going to start punching it in. But as a Glad right now, I just keep my head high, keep focusing on what we need to be doing, and just slowly moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, perfect. It can be a long, hot afternoon out there when you're on the wrong side of a lopsided scoreline, and you'd like to hope that they'll get this drive together and try and help get that scoreboard moving for the day. But mate, I've been on the wrong end of lots of very heavy one-sided scorelines.
I was as well.
Afternoon.
I was as well. Don't even worry.
yeah.
But being out there and down by a bit, it can be quite disheartening, and you can feel that the game just keeps getting stretched and stretched and stretched. But all you got to do is keep your head in it and keep fighting through it. Jesse pump fakes there, out to number one, and then battered down by Noble over there.
Nice play. So he did two things well there. He pump faked, and then he looked like he was going, and then he re-engaged in the passing game, as you saw. He had a big target of Kyle Smith across the middle. Mate, Andrew Noble, though.
Look, Noble's one of those guys that you love him, and then you equally hate him. You know, playing against him is a real pain, but it's always fun. You know, he gets in my head a lot, and we just love the banter that we have. And it's always a pleasure to call him a friend on the field and a friend off the field.
An excellent bloke. As good a player as he's an even better man. He breaks that pass up with the consummate ease of a guy who's pretty well seen anything you can throw.
I reckon he could have picked it off there.
You don't need to ask him twice. He loves an intercept. And Date has got great protection. He looks down the field. He sees Matty Morrison down there, and Nick Mattress closing. May have gotten in Morrison's head a little bit there, I reckon.
Arguably, yes. Arguably, no.
Maybe.
I reckon he should have kept running. If you saw, he had a bit of a hesitation there, and he stopped running for a second because he thought Jesse wasn't going to throw to him. And Jesse, I guess, didn't see that. But if Morrison had kept running that extra little bit, I reckon it would have been in his hands, and he would be down the field by now.
I mean, this is the thing, right? You can't ever take a step off. Like, when you're running a route, you can't take a step off because your quarterback is expecting. They know how fast you are. They know how long it takes to get from point A to point B. They're expecting you to be in a certain place at a certain time, and that breaks that play down. But then when you're not where you're supposed to be, and all of a sudden you're watching your ball, and all you can hear around
I know that feeling far too well. I know that far too well.
That can affect your concentration.
Very much. It very much can.
Yeah. So interestingly, down here on the near sideline, I'll describe this in a second, as Luke Hall punts this way and gets the ball out near the 45-yard line.
Jordan's warming up.
Jordan Nicker warming up, so we may well see him out there doing some passing as the afternoon develops. Jake Humphreys, who's not out there today, and joined me up in the box here for the second half of the first game. He was wonderful company up here. He's out with a pretty severely badly mangled ankle, and he's down there taking some reps from Jordan Nicora. We're going to see the Wolves now. They have had 3 drives. They have had 3 touchdowns. They're going to start with this ball on the positive side of the field. They are at the 43-yard line going in. Mate, after a 71-yard drive, before that a 55-yard drive, there doesn't seem to be a
They seem to
distance.
be on a roll.
That's a problem, yeah?
I don't think they're putting their heads down at the moment. They seem to be having a great time out in that field. Phillips leading the charge out there, and they're just getting yards after yards after yards.
Yeah, looking pretty smooth out there. It's just taking a minute to assess and just look at what formation's in front of him. Gets that silent clap. Goes down the field. Looks, Damon Smith has completely burned his corner. And the ball's just agonisingly far enough out of reach
Slightly
for him to be
overthrown
filthy.
there. Slightly overthrown. Perfect read there as Phillips looks to Damo's side. And it is seen he's beaten the corner within those 5 yards thresholds. And I think that 5 yards there, once he beats him, it's a no-go for there. So it's just straight down the field and straight to Damo.
He turned that corner right around. Don't actually have a name on 25. I'm sure that's a 25. But, yeah, it's once someone like Damo gets even with you, if you haven't turned, it's just over. Because if you've got to turn and try and keep toe with him, there's good luck. Beautiful run up center from Will Thompson. And just, do you hear the sound of that contact? You get the finish from Butterfield, as well as, that's John Butterfield, but as well as the great contact from Job Amanamoy to start that play.
Brilliant contact there. You could hear it from up here. Hey, man, it was
like
just
a thunderclap.
So good.
So it gives them a third and only a couple of yards. They're only a couple of yards into their down. They may still need 9. And that's sort of not what we've come to expect from the way they've moved the ball. They're either getting a 1-yard gain or a 10-plus yard gain in the running game at the moment, and their passing game's been pretty fluid.
That's the little jailbreak screen out to Noble. They're
Oh,
it's a
gosh,
good block
well.
by Opie, but that's going to be called back. I reckon that's a blind side right
yeah,
there.
I reckon you hold him, and you're not allowed to do that. You've got to give him an opportunity to
But
recognise you there.
very well read there by Phillips, as they see that the Glads is playing that cover one and then sending that outside linebacker in, which is a mismatch. They're giving them numbers on the outside, which is a perfect opportunity to throw that screen and get those extra yards from there. Just an unfortunate block there.
Well, and you get the savvy of a receiver like Noble, right? He's used to playing defense as his first point of call, so when you give him the ball against the defense, he kind of knows what to do, get low, maneuver his body. And he had what would have been a beautiful 12, 13-yard gain. Now it's 15 yards the other way. That's a 30
As we said, that's
flip.
a blindside block there on number 63. That's Opie, hey?
Yeah.
There's not much you can do about that, but you just got to make sure that the defender's looking at you before you actually hit him.
This is the problem, though. Opie's he's a big man, and that is a tough boat to turn around. So once he's committed to something, it's not easy for him to stop it so quickly. But 15 yards, they're going to march this one off, and they're going to find themselves just back on their own side of halfway.
Yeah.
That hasn't really deterred the Wolves wherever the ball starts. They've done a really good job of staying really clinical and staying on.
I think
on
it doesn't
time.
get in their head. You know, I think that they're staying composed and they're just going to take it as another down. Not a third and long, but they're just going to take it as another down.
Yeah, it may be a real drive derailer, but I mean, it also wouldn't surprise me if they find a way to dig themselves out of this hole. As Matt Phillips drops back, looks long, and Andrew Noble's never going to catch up to that one. The ball lands on the 20, and that'll
punt
be
it away
fourth down.
now.
So, first time we're going to see the punt unit today for the Gungahlin Wolves, and they're going to be doing it from their own side of halfway. Also something we haven't seen a lot from
I
the
have
Gungahlin
not seen
Wolves.
that yet. Hey, this is the first time in the game they will be finishing a drive from the other side of their half.
Yeah.
And
Phillips now 8 of
I don't
14.
think they're very happy about that, but I still think that it won't be in their heads and they'll be playing wonderful.
I reckon Jason Ray would be about the only coach who could be up 20-0 and have his first drive not go for points and be filthy about it. Like, he really does demand a high level
I
of
couldn't
execution.
agree more.
Yeah. And I love Jason Ray. So, yeah, it's definitely talks to the level of execution he demands. And this punt comes down the field. It might hit Natras in the helmet. It's just sailed over his head. It's going to take a slightly dicey little bounce there. I thought it might have taken a little Gladiators bounce there, but it's going to be held up on about the 18-yard line.
Very nicely done there
Gladiators
from
coming out.
Mattress coming down the field straight after the snap to cover it if it does go backwards to grab it. Always don't want to give them extra yards.
And this is the thing, like, even in a game, we got a bit of a stranglehold on the scoreboard, got a bit of a stranglehold on field position. It is unwolf-like to just let the ball bounce around willy-nilly. Very much part of the we execute every play to make sure that you're on top of that and don't even give away a yard on the bounce of the ball. So here we are with the Gladiators now. They've got a generous spot there, actually. They're going to get the 19, not the 18, and they're going to be coming out from their own end. We're in the middle to late part here of the second quarter. It'd be around about the 4 minutes to 3 minute sort of mark, I'd wager.
say
We don't
yes.
have an official clock up here, so we're kind of deciding by how many plays we've seen, and sometimes the coaching, their play calls will tell you a bit. Jesse Date catches this ball from the snap and heads out to the right. Immediately, it gets sniffed out pretty quickly. He doesn't get any gain. He's brought down right on the line of scrimmage by, guess who? Dave O'Brien.
Don't get me started, eh? They had that play before, as I said, Butterfield in the pitch relation with Jesse, giving Jesse the option to either pitch it off to him or take it himself. I think Jesse should have pitched it off there, but I'm not down on the field, so I can't see what he sees in front of him. But from up here, I feel like that Butterfield would have had a good opportunity to make the outside if he had given it a bit early.
Oh, so I think too, you're in a position where, Butterfield, by that stage, has got a head of steam up. He's a bigger frame to bring down, and you might be sacrificing a yard by pitching it, but you're giving it to a man who's in full flight. And, I'd rather him take the contact than me.
As a quarterback, exactly. I don't think you would want to take as much contact as Jesse loves. So, especially after me playing quarterback for so long, I didn't like taking the contact. I'd always would hand it off or try to just throw it away if they weren't open. But
I don't mind the contact in the open field. After you've made a nice catch down the field, you get to get up and do the flex
now
and have a celebrate.
Now as a receiver, it's all part of the game. I love the contact. I don't know if you see that. I just love putting my head down on people. But
it's different when you're in the secondary than
of
it
course
is when
it
you're in the trenches, right?
I mean, because the big guys aren't straight in front of you, so it's like it's an even matchup, I'd argue.
You'd like to think they're 15 yards behind you, so
exactly,
well
exactly.
out of the way. A nice run up the middle there from Butterfield. He gains 4 more yards. We're in a really manageable 3rd and 5 situation. If they get close enough, I fancy their chance to treat this like second down. And Date drops back. He's starting to look out here to the left. He's got Matt Morrison in a tussle, and great work as
Beautiful
the ball
catch.
came into the hands of the cornerback and then back out into the hands of Matt Morrison. There's a flag come in as this play is developing, but he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
Amazing catch there. I did not see how he got that. It looked like the defense had it there.
Yeah. It
But
looked to me like it got into the hands of the defender,
miracle catch
Tom
there.
Wills, and then out into the hands of Matt Morrison.
Very nice catch there. And way to stay on his feet and just try to keep powering for those extra yards. I don't know if you saw that Jesse Date just absolutely came screaming up behind him trying to get that block and get some extra yards on it. But that was amazing there.
I'm kind of wondering if that might maybe nullify the play, because I think he might have blindsided blocked.
I don't think that was a blindside at all. I think it would have been in the back, if anything.
Maybe. They're marching it off, so it's definitely... Sadly, the passion, right? And that's what you want. You want the passion. You've got this quarterback who's made the pass and then comes charging upfield to try and help his receiver.
Just had a massive gain there of about 15 yards, and now it's going to come a little bit far back.
Yeah. So one thing I've learned about when you see a flag coming like that, you just don't write the stat for the play down straight away, because otherwise you end up with a lot of scribble marks all over your page.
You can't do that yet.
I'm starting to learn how to do that after 5 weeks of taking some stats for the league. We're marching this one off, and it's coming from the point of the foul. So the good thing is you're not losing it from the line of original scrimmage.
Well, now there's 1 yard gained.
Well, yeah, and it's definitely not the death sentence you thought it was. And now it's going to be third, and still about 9 to get instead of 5. So you only scrub 4 yards off. It's not too bad, but it's a pain when you had the first down.
So if I was the Glads here, I'd be trying to take a little shot there. You could either run it to the outside, to the open side with the stretch, or I'd be trying to get some extra yards here, dumping it down to one of the receivers that are very powerful that can run straight through, or just going for a long shot over the top to the side that Mattress is not on.
Yeah, you definitely want to try and keep the ball out of Nick Mattress's way. And Date's going to get the ball. He drops back. He's got... Oh, Dom Nicholin came in. That was an absolute, the most obvious hold you'll ever see as the ball sails over Kyle Smith's head.
It wasn't even a block. That was a tackle.
It was a tackle. It was a tackle. And
straight up picked him up and threw him down.
Is that the right thing to do in that situation to save your quarterback? I don't know. Because, I mean, your quarterback may have died.
I'd just say don't even worry. Just get your body in front of him. That's the best you could do. Just stand there and be an extra body. Give him an extra second to run away. But...
yeah, there's
got to do what they got to do, you know.
The most flagrant hold you'll see, and maybe in the name of preserving life, Jesse Date may have found himself on a gurney. So
they're going to march it back an extra 5 yards there. No, 10.
Yeah, you're going to take 10 for that one, and it's going to put them on about the 11-yard line.
10-yard penalty.
One that egregious should be more than 10 yards. that was a tackle.
That was very obvious holding there, and I think we all saw that up here and down there. But now this is unlikely for them to make this first down. You know, it's third and over 15, so
yeah, you're going to be.
They're going to have to take a big play. And as we see, the Wolves are going to line up with a 2 high safety so that they can't let anything past those sticks. We have Mattress on one side, Noble on the other. They're just going to be marching around, covering that high end.
Just on that, like it's a border, right? That distance to get marked like it's a border.
That's their line. No one's going to come past it.
For your defensive line, you just pin the ears back. You don't even need to worry about whether it's going to be run or pass. You just get into the backfield, yeah?
Oh, false start there from the Glads.
It'll drive you crazy because you've got a little bit of movement on the line anyway, but our receiver over on the far side.
Dave Casey out the back there.
He takes off like the robber's dog.
Well, from what I saw on the positive, that looked like a good route, good release there, getting his corner off. But now that marched them back even further.
He got the head down, didn't he? He was really powering. So when I was playing, and this is way back at the turn of the century, right? So, you know, when Jesus played fullback for Jerusalem, we were always taught as a wide receiver, you're just playing deaf. You're just watching for the ball. And so that's a bit of a coach killer.
That's exactly right there. As growing up as a quarterback, it was always different, but the second I came back into receiver, nearly picked off there. But the second I came into a receiver playing here, I don't know, I got a lot of false starts last year because I was always listening. And then when I went over to Europe, it was a penalty, and I got punished every single time I moved. So I've learned to just turn my ears off and watch that ball. The second that ball goes, flick those eyes straight to the corner and go.
Yeah, and it's difficult to turn off. And I think where you see it, it's generally not the experienced guys, right? It's generally the younger guys or fellas who aren't in that position terribly often. And so, you know, Dave, it's his first year around here in the ACT Gridiron League. And, you know, you'll learn a lot. Like the penalties, they're a pain on the day. But you do learn from them. You know, and that's a lot of what the league is about. Is we're an amateur league of guys who are just playing on a weekend generally.
It's just fun for them. This is all it's about. It's just having fun, and I love that we're doing it because it's spreading this sport, the sport that I love as well, and I'm sure everyone here loves. It's just amazing. As Mattress takes the catch there, but his knee's down, so they're going to go on the 31.
Yeah, gee. got himself in there to make that catch, but
sliding in. It's like a soccer celebration going down, eh? After the goal, getting a little knee slide.
Dramatic, wasn't it? A dramatic.
That was me. My skin would be gone off the knees, hey?
Well, if that was me, it would have bounced 5 yards in front of me. I can't move that quick. My knees aren't doing that.
Nah, he's just a different breed of an athlete, isn't he?
He's absurd.
See him playing all ways. I don't think he's been off the field once.
No, he's pretty much playing Iron Man, isn't he? That's what we used to call it when... Oh, gosh. The Astros team I used to play with, some weeks we'd rock up with 15 guys and old Matty C would be out there on defence, and that's not a good sign.
That was back in the day for us as well when Phillips and I both played for the Glads. It was both ways for us. We see a nice slant throw there. He's going to get brought down for a nice gain of 12.
Right down the seam, and we're going to get the flag down here in the... It's in the offensive backfield, round about in the range of holding, but we'll see what the call is. But a lovely little pass, nice little seam. Dugdale,
perfect.
Nice hands.
But we have a holding call. Replay first down, but that's going to take them 10 yards back. They're going to have to try that again from first and 20.
And you can see that to the defensive lineman on this end, Rowan Murphy's number 92. And you can see as he came off that, he was most displeased at how he's been kept out of the play. And he immediately turned to the ref and got this flag thrown in there. And you can see he's just like, bereft.
Those Glads, they have a big D-line front there. All in the 90s there. They're just powering through them as hard as they can.
Luke Hall, Izzy Gattusa, Justin Murphy, and Rowan Murphy down there. They're all big boys, and here we go. Matty Phillips is getting that ball down the side. David Smith, it's perilously close as it gets through his hands. He is at top speed. You could not have asked him to be moving faster.
No one is keeping up with him after that, but through the hands, yet again, I think they're just on a different page at the moment. I think they just need to sync up a little bit more, and then they've got that pass in there. But especially as a quarterback, it takes a second to sink in with your receivers on the field.
Yeah, it does.
And I think it's just getting to their head a little bit now. They just need to refocus and resync.
Well, you know it from both ends, right? You're quarterbacking just a week ago, receiving in the same game. So it's something that's really fresh in your mind of knowing what it's like to be both.
Well, especially going from quarterback to receiver in the same game, it's very, very hard because you're like, quarterback, you're barely moving, and then receiver, you have to go full pace every single time. But we love and breathe it. We have the little jailbreak to the outside.
Oh, that's a tough one out of the hands.
Just a little bit through his hands.
Yeah. So we're down to a third down now, and we've still got about 20 to go. I imagine going from one to the other is a lot like you ride a bike for 20 Ks and you hop off and then you run for an hour. Like I can just imagine that adjustment initially, doing one and doing the other, not problematic, but the swap.
Of course. Well, it is, but at the same time, it's what's best for the team, you know. And you just have to focus on yourself when you're out there as a receiver, especially. Yep. You know, you have your three others out there with you, but once that ball's snapped, it's just you and what you're doing. And if you find that space, the quarterback will find you. Yeah,
well, we've seen that pretty much be the case through the large part of this first half. They really didn't have any trouble syncing up. Matt Phillips finding his receivers, the running game working really well. Just in the last two drives, things have really sort of slowed up. And one, it's super hot out there, and some of the concentration things get harder. But Gladiators' defense has really started to become disruptive.
So yeah, I see the Glads are now starting to absolutely power through on their defense, and I think the heat is starting to get a little bit to them. Yep. I think both teams, especially. I know it was getting to me earlier in the day, especially at halftime, but I think it's just getting to all of us, and they're just going to have to hydrate, drink as much water as they can, and power through. It's 25 degrees at the moment.
Yeah, it's thereabouts, and I mean,
not
it's
a cloud in the sky.
It's hotter when you're out there in the pads, right? It's not 25.
Those pads
25
extra,
up here for you and me.
Those pads add some extra heat to it as well. It's very hard.
So here are at 3rd and 20, and we've got Matt Phillips just trying to get his motion happening. Mattress does
jets across the
end
play.
Up going to motion. So he is the third receiver over that side now. And shoulder
Mattress
fakes,
is going to get that
looks
wheel.
for Mattress, and it's that ball
slightly overthrown.
You could almost see, it's almost like the wind just glided it, just so it was perilously far from the fingertips of Nick Mattress the entire way. From the moment he threw it, you're like, that's a little far out, but Mattress will probably catch up. And then he just never caught up.
I think the wind did get a little bit underneath that and lift that a little bit up. But very nicely read there from Phillips once again. He had that option, he had that wheel, and then he had that sit, which is perfect from him, and he chose the right route because that safety was barging across the field trying to cover that.
Yeah, that whole time too, with that ball in the air, you knew that Mattress had position, and if you caught it, it was over. And now you've got Nikora at the back, Morrison in front, and we're going to see a punt away from Sean Tokley with the ball on the 43-yard line. Here comes the punt, and this will land somewhere around the 20. And Nikora does not take the fair catch. He breaks a tackle and immediately seeks out more contact, gets the ball over the 35. What a play.
What is that? That is absurd. I thought, honestly, he was just going to leave it. But no, I look up and he's taking the catch and he's powering through, stiff arm Mattress straight to the face, and then gains that extra 20-odd yards on it.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable play there.
What a play. And it's so great when you've got somebody who is so wildly experienced that I got that. Receiving a punt like that, I would have felt a little panicked about taking it in the contact and what happens next. But when you're a really experienced player, those things, everything just feels slower.
That's what some of those boys from Sydney who come down and play for us, that's what they show, hey? Because it's different all around Australia, no matter where you play. It's not all the same. And it shows, hey? It shows.
Well, you know, the experience of Jordan Nikora, hopefully this will help just ignite a little something in this Glads team in the second half. As Jesse Date gets good protection, looks across the middle, and Kyle Smith, he has it, and he drops it, and it's ruled an incomplete pass, importantly.
Took his eyes off the ball that second too early. If he had held on, he kept his eyes on his balls into the ball until it was in, he would have had that. But he took his eyes off the ball, looked at the defender, and that's when it came out.
When you run across the middle like that too, you know you've got pretty close quarters for the contact from the defense. Is that in your mind at the same time?
Yes, absolutely, because you know that linebacker's straight there and that safety's going to come down so hard on you. So if you're not, have that balls tucked in and eyes straight up, might be a hospital straight for you.
It sounds like someone who's been cut in half by a few safeties in his time. As Jesse Date gets this ball here on 2nd and 10, he's got some time, but then the pocket starts to collapse, and he does a great job of manoeuvring, getting away, and he's away from Dave O'Brien. He cuts back inside and takes a great contact from Corey Wales before he's down right around the marker. What a great play from Jesse Date.
Very nicely done there, as you see his pocket collapsed, and he had one guy straight in his face, but then he avoided and went straight up the field.
Yeah, really terrific awareness to make that move. I haven't caught who the blue helmet who was putting that pressure on was there, but just great awareness from Jesse Date to get that to happen, and he picks up a first down for his trouble, and that's the biggest play from scrimmage since the pass to Casey early on. That's Reece Cheetah.
Reece Cheetah.
So Date's back, and he does a good thing by getting the ball out to Butterfield. It's 6 in the tips of his fingers. He breaks a tackle and then moves upfield, gets 5 yards for his trouble, and that ball will be spotted right on mid-field. You can see that just stuck in the tip.
Very nice run there. Very nice. Just needs to hold on that ball a little bit tighter, but very nice. Barging over 2 defenders, put Noble on the ground, and then Noble still managed to hold on to that feet.
Yep.
Holding onto the feet to bring him down, which is all you want in a safety. Yeah. You just want them to get them to the ground. Hold on to that feet. Make sure they don't get any extra
yards. Down and give time for your team to finish that gang tackle, yeah? So here we go. We've got the ball on the move now, and they're at midfield. And, they steps across the line. I think he may have even made contact with the ball there. And that's
the ball did move there. He did kick that ball.
That's going to...
He came down barreling very, very hard to show the blitz, fake the blitz, and then go back up. So they're going to get that extra 5 yards there.
So, not exactly what you're hoping for, but you can live with it. They've defensively been putting up a really great show today. You don't mind giving away, this is going to be second and super short with the ball on midfield right near halftime. You probably don't mind doing that when you're 20 zip up.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So here we are. We've got Jesse Date with the option. The edge collapses very quickly from Jackson Reed, and it means that he runs forward to just gain a few yards, but it is enough. And Jesse Date will pick up 2, move the chains, and here we go.
There's that play again. I talked about having that pitch relations. And Jackson Reed there, shutting it down. As I said, staying flat foot and making Jesse decide whether to keep it or hand it off himself.
That's going to be a timeout, our first of the first half for the Gladiators, and they're starting to get to the point where, you could start to deign to think, well, we need to manage the clock. We're in a position now where we're, in the attacking half, and we've been moving the ball. We could probably start to use clock management and try and get a score on the board here. At 20 points to nil now, if you do score, actually that kind of brings the whole contest back because you're going to get the ball first in third quarter.
If they score here, then that'll be great because they get the ball back after half.
Oh, no, sorry. They're going to be kicking off in the first.
That's okay. Their defense is doing well. If they score here, then that'll bring the morale up and they can score.
It'll make that halftime conversation a little easier, I'd
wager. Oh, of course it would. I know that feeling far too well, yeah.
I can definitely remember times where we went into the locker room 24-0 down, and then you come out in the second half after a rousing speech from the coach, and you kick it off, And then the kick return goes for a touchdown. And it's just so. It's not like that for this Gladiators team. They've got a bit more pluck than we had on that day.
We see Jesse Dayton in the shotgun, taking the snap, telling Butterfield who he wants him to block. Tries to throw it up, and it's going to be picked off.
Just nice coverage.
By number 18.
And that's Corey Wales who comes in and takes that one.
Tom Wills.
Oh, Tom Wills, sorry.
Tom Wills is going to take it.
Tom Wills. And just lovely coverage. You could see there was 2 receivers in the area, and neither of them looked like they were getting the ball because the defenders had worked out where that ball was going.
Jesse had floated that ball a little bit too much for him, which gave the opportunity for Tom Wills to just come underneath and snag that pick there.
Yeah, beautiful work. And it ends the drive. I think one of them may be 18. I think we've got...
There's a 16 there and a 16. Two Dave Caseys. They have two Dave Caseys.
There's definitely a guy in a blue helmet who I thought was Dave Casey earlier, and I've credited him with the catch, so I'll have to work out who he is.
Number 16 here on the end.
Because that's in the yellow shoes is definitely Dave Casey, but I think the guy in the blue helmet with the red shoes might not be the same man. And look at this
perfect ball across the middle, and extra yards there dropping down.
Justin Dundas-Smith felt like maybe he was pushed off the ball. There's no foul on the play. The play's going to stand. And
that's number 99,
Jack Dugdale, 89. And again, just beautiful hands. He used the leverage that he had. He's used his body to create space.
Perfect ball over the middle from Phillips there. You know, right into the space where he's running onto it. No one in sight in front of him. He could easily have made that.
Yeah, he goes and grabs a 19-yard catch there, and it moves the
Very
chains.
perfect.
He's 3 for 37 on the day, young Jack Dugdale. And, mate, he's just doing everything you want of a larger target and someone who's working around the seams and working around those hash marks. He's just using his big frame to become a good target.
That's what you want in a tight end / slot receiver out there. He's playing both that. I don't think I've seen him come in tight yet, but as a big slot receiver, that's what you want. You want him in between those hashes, getting those small catches and bursting through for those extra yards after the catch.
A great little prospect, isn't he? And he's really grown as this season's emerged as one of the great talents on this Gungahlin Wolves side, where so many of them are speed. He's size and power. You've got Matt Phillips with his formation all set. He claps for the ball, and he immediately looks across here to the left where he's got Nick Mattress in all kinds of space, and he is toying with the defense. He gets brought down just outside the 20-yard
I don't know
line.
if you saw that, but I just saw Jordan absolutely flatten Jack Dudley out there on the edge in those 5 yards for that reroute, but that's what I was watching. But great reception there and yards after catch for Mattress.
Not scared of contact. Nat Mattress gains another 19 yards to put the ball down on the 21. So we're on the edge of the red zone, and the Wolves have been in their motion too, where they took a timeout after the first down on this drive. Now they're trying to keep the play moving while the clock's moving to try and get one more score and not give any opportunity to give the ball back. Phillips with it. He has to duck underneath. The pocket closes and the offense can't go down the field because it's a passing play. And now all of a sudden, Matty Phillips rushes into the corner, but there's a block upfield into the defender. I think Jack Dugdale's going to be, he's going to be guilty of a...
It's going to be a flag there on the play.
And it just depends on what kind of foul it is as to how
I reckon
far.
that's going to be a blindside block once again.
Yeah, we could find ourselves with a 10-yard or maybe even up to 15-yard, depending on what the call is here. But that kind of erases some of the good work done there by Matty Phillips.
Great run there by Matty Phillips. He saw that his pocket had closed up and his O-line had gone around, and he saw the space in front of him. Very nicely done to get to the outside and walk down the sideline. As we said, blindside, and that takes them back another 15.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what you want when you're not what you want when you're in this red zone.
I mean, you get this beautiful 12-yard gain, puts you right down first to goal, and then you lose the 15 yards. It's net -3, but you keep the down, so it's still first down. So it's not the worst, but it just erases a lot of good stuff.
As we see Phillips audible to a different play from what was said because he sees something that the defense is doing. And right choice there. That gains an extra 2 to 3 yards for him.
Perfect.
Once again, that's another tight little middle screen there for him.
That's exactly what you want too, isn't it, right? Like, you can see something. You want your receivers to be able to respond to you predetermined. Every team's got a couple of predetermined little, like, fire calls or whatever it might be.
We get given our call by the coach, and then inside the quarterback's head, we have audibles. If we see the defense come out in something that we don't like, for the play that we got called, we can audible it to something else. And that's when you hear the quarterback screaming at everyone else to change the play or tapping something on their body to change.
Yeah, and it's the thing, right? Like, every team's got their own code, right? It's not like everyone's using the same
No, not everyone's
system.
using the
It's
same
not
code.
words. It's not.
Yeah.
Not everyone's got
some teams have risk coaches. Some teams use signals. Some teams just use words. You know, it's all different.
Well, here we go. Phillips has done a great job of getting around that edge, contained from Luke Hall, but what a tackle by Jordan Nikora, who comes in and just throws Phillips to the ground. The ball spills out over the sideline.
He is everywhere today, isn't he?
Oh, my gosh. He's definitely playing at a level that, well, we haven't sort of seen someone come in on day one and play up for quite a while.
That's what those Sydney guys bring down here, hey? They elevate the game, I'd arguably say. So
he's playing what's in front of him too, so he's playing quite instinctively.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And I guess that's how they learn. They don't stick to a script. They play what's in front of them. Yeah. If the guy's there, they're not afraid to take in the contact.
Well, this guy's been playing since, well, yeah, forever.
Before I was even around.
So here we go. We've got Matt Phillips, who's looking back towards the end zone, and right at the front of the end zone. He hits his receiver, Jack Marshall, in the hands. But at the same time, there's contact from Bennett, and that pass is incomplete. We're going to have fourth down now.
Dunder Smith is down.
And that's it. So it's your third and final.
And offense also just took their final timeout.
Yeah, and the reason you do this now, you're fourth down. So do you decide to roll out Sean Tokley to go for the 3, or do you draw up a specific play? Because, well, the lead is the lead, and you're probably going for the touchdown, right? I
think this close to halftime, definitely Jason will pull something out of his pocket, and they'll definitely try to go for the score. I don't think they would go for the 3, but if I were them, I'd play it. I'd play it. Go for the score. You know, what's the chance you get the ball at halftime too? After half,
can you imagine the value of scoring on the last play of the half and then having your opponent kick off to you instead of the way you would kick off to them?
Yeah. Well, it's fourth down and about 6.
Yeah.
And you get ball at half, so I might as well go for it. I'd argue go for it, you know. Take those extra couple yards and just push down the field a little harder.
Yeah, and I think the way it sort of seems like too, we don't have the official clock up here either, but this seems to me to be probably one of the last plays of the half as well. So just gives you all the more reason to throw a band into it.
Less than 25 seconds to go. But those 25 seconds can turn to a long time with the stoppage and the ball hitting the ground. So I tell everyone, they're like, how long does the game go for?
5 minutes.
I don't know, mate.
How long's a piece of string? Yeah. So here we go. We're all lined up. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Matt Phillips is looking for the end zone. He finds Nick Mattress across the middle, but great hand in there.
Off his head.
That's well done by our defender, number 50. I don't have him on the number sheet.
But we did call that out. They went for it. Mattress over the middle. That was up for grabs for him. But straight through his hands, hit his helmet.
Broken up, and that's it. So that's a wonderful way for the Gladiators to finish this half. The first 3 drives of the game were all scores. Since then, a couple of really nice defensive stands from the Gladiators where we've seen them force a punt and now force a turnover on down to preserve their end zone. And they're doing it without the experience of Jack Panaccio out there, team captain, who's usually a really big leader out there. They've actually really picked up some great experience from having fellas like Jordan Nikora out there and Luke Horback.
If Jordan and Jack were out there, and Luke, that'd be a different story right now. But having Jack not out there and Jordan out there, it really brings an extra character to the game, and now they can have that leadership and experience on their defense to guide them a bit further.
Well, here we go. We're going to run this half out now as we see Jesse Date looking to his right, and he's just waiting for things to develop. Nothing really develops, and then all of a sudden he finds a little chance to pop the ball over the top, and that's our little mate, number 16. Well, we've got 2 16s, so we really do. I thought it might be an 18 on the back of the one in the blue helmet, but 2 men in 16.
I think it's 2 16s. So going to have to talk to the rest about that.
We'll work out which one's which, but a nice way to move the chains there, and we get about a 14-yard gain.
Very nicely done there from Jesse, keeping his eyes down the field, especially rolling out of the pocket, not getting too worried about what's behind him and keeping his eyes down so he can just pop that little pass over to number 16 for an extra couple yards.
He's done well. He's got 3 out of 7 passing, so it's been probably more efficient than you think, but low volume because the running game has really taken a big chunk of what they're doing out there. They've passed 7 times, but they've run 12 times. Yeah. So it's one of these things where the volume's not super high, and the running game
more than 7 because Jesse's taken a couple runs himself.
Yeah. Certainly the play call has been passed more than that. The result has been run a few times. So
they're going to call the play. Oh, false start.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're going to call the play dead.
That's
Renee.
And Renee Hendricks, one of the great coaches and one of the greats, he's been involved in the Centurions Club for so long, super involved in juniors, super involved.
Monarchs as well. When we had our junior team that went to South Australia, he was one of our coaches. Very good experience for us and him as well. So,
yeah, one of the great members of the AFACT community, and has been part of the game for as long as I can remember. He was a player back when I was in the game as well. So this is how long he's been involved in the game. Is way back when.
So long.
Way back when you were just a twinkle in someone's eye, young James, as we see the
from-
blitz happen, and
from
is
Dom.
running for his
Gonna
life.
pass it. It's going
And
to
it's
be
going to be picked off.
Owen Lewis
And
with the pick.
You have, it is dangerous throwing to a stationary receiver when Owen Lewis is in the area. His closing speed is so fast, and he sniffed that out like nobody's business and generates a turn.
They're wide open. Jesse threw it straight to him, but Owen Lewis was too determined to come down and pick that. He had it in his hands, but number 4 there will come over the top and just punching it out, which is perfect from what you want from a safety over there. You see those hands of the receiver come up, you go straight for the ball in the middle. Break those wrists, as we say, break those wrists.
Those wrists. And look, it is also the added difficulty on that sideline is you're looking back towards the sun as well. So it is, you know this as well as anybody. I played on that side most of my receiving career too. So you're looking
I am
back
a
at
left
that sun.
side receiver, so I'm always either looking at the sun or looking away from it.
Yeah. And
But that's why I wear a visor.
Added some difficulty. Here we go. Matt Phillips has one last shot at this end zone. He's scarpering around there. He's seen something he likes, but it sails over the head of Bennett, sails over the head of Mattress. I think goes through the goalpost. That might be a goal.
That might be an extra 3 points.
But
Cheeky little field goal pass.
the way everyone's
But
moving
no, we
here,
just-
that might be the end of the half, the way everyone's moving here.
I think yes. There's a little bit of push and shove down in that end zone between Mattress and number 4 Will Banner, but
It was a bit.
but it is what it is. They in the air when the ball was coming over, but I think they were both equally out of the way of the ball, so I don't think there'd be any penalties or PIs in the area there.
Everything looking nothing untoward there, and Damon Smith getting the post
Goal
pads
post
back
pads on, he
and
just ran him straight off.
back to the huddle. Don't know who's in the huddle long enough to hear the play, so I assume he's just going to go. So,
Arguably, I'd rather go there.
with where we are in the quarter two, I imagine Phillips is just like,
Well, I think for Damon,
Get open.
I think he's going to make a read there. He sees that his corner's playing a little bit further off than he wanted to, so I think he would have cut in or made a hitch move there. Arguably, I don't think he would be able to win on a go in that
just
scenario.
run
But
towards the post, maybe trying to undercut him.
feels like we just had a false start there, so I think offense is, yep,
Slightly untidy end to the half here.
5
as
yards taken off that.
Moves the ball out to the 31-yard line, and down and distance not so important here, but for those playing at home, it is 3rd and 15. So,
Long way to go to that end zone, but as we said, it's nearly half-time. I think they're going to take a couple more plays down. They're going to diagnose this defense a little bit more, pull them apart with these next couple plays, so then they come into the half straight off the ball and score again.
Yeah, it's and effectively for the way the game's working here, it's 2nd down. They're completely shifting the formation.
Double
here.
shift here.
Look at this. They've got the big fella and Mattress down here on this side now and playing isolation.
He was looking
at
for
top.
the one-on-one there, but now it's double teamed up. So he's going to take a run.
Yeah, he'll just throw himself over the sideline. No worries. Gets the 1st down, so that's helpful. But 12-yard gain for
They're
Matty
going to go for a
Phillips.
field goal here.
Well, we can hear that from up
To
here.
end the
Is that
half.
we're going to
I
send
can
out
hear
the
that
kicking
call
unit?
screaming up. I can hear that voice anywhere in the world. Jason Ray calling for a field goal.
Yeah, anyone who spent time on a sideline near Jason Ray knows the timber of his
Far
voice.
too long.
So it is not a play we see super often in
No.
American football ACT here is to see a kicker come out.
We have done it a couple times,
Yeah.
but it's not very
Just last
common.
week.
Yeah, it's not very common to see. Well, if your offense doesn't have much momentum and you're close to the goal, you might as well take a shot, hey?
Yeah.
You might as well get some points on the board, and I guess they want to go into halftime with some points. So field goal's a very good opportunity for that, as the snap was a bit low, hit the ground, but totally manages to kick it up.
From
3 and 1.
2 yards, totally. Again, as you'd expect, with all the accuracy and comfort of kicking an extra point, just goes and lobs that one over from 32 yards. Score now jumps out to 23
I
points
guess
for
they're going to let the Wolves kick off to them right now, see what happens, let the clock play out, unless they're going to call halftime. They're going to let them play out.
Let him play. Wouldn't you just love to see him spring a return here? Wouldn't you?
I'd love them to put Jordan on and see if he can have a go at it.
Yeah, give him a chance to spring a return. He's not the fastest, but God, he runs angry.
I'd hate to be in front of him when he puts his helmet down.
Yeah. So here we go. 23 points to nil here in what is the very last race here is the second quarter. And this Wolves side who came away with a 34-point win last week. They put up 40 last time they played the Gladiators just 2 weeks ago. Had 63 in them the first time they met the Stars. So they've been a points machine since week 1. And
Yes. Arguably, I was talking to Jason before, and they are leading The points on offense in the nation. They are the best offense in the nation by 1 point, beating the Bayside Ravens up in Brisbane. So
There you go.
they're just powering through down here. So
Today will not change
No.
by the way things are going here.
definitely not.
Just explain what happened on the field here too. Is this is the kickoff goes down to about the 1, and Matt Morrison walked into his end zone and picked it up. So they're counting that as a touchback.
I would count that as a touchback too.
And
So they're going to take it up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
20-yard line, 25-yard line.
If he was in the field when he picked it up, they would have let him play it on. But because he was outside of the field when he picked it up there, and whistling that play dead.
See, kickoff
yards.
have some very weird rules as well. So it's a
Special teams.
it's
man.
a
They call
whole
it
thing in
special for a
itself.
reason, don't
It's
they?
a whole thing in itself. So a lot of stuff to learn about kickoffs. But once you know what's going on down there, it's very, very good to understand.
I mean, we spend a lot of our time in special teams too in this league as well, between punts and extra points and kickoffs and kick returns. So yeah, you actually find they're on the field quite a bit. So being good at your special teams makes a big difference.
So Jesse's just going to kneel the ball out, which brings them to half time. So we
there
have the
you go.
Wolves leading at half time, 24 nil
23,
at half time.
sorry.
So if you were the Glads coach, what would you be saying to them at half time here, Matt?
Well, I feel like you sort of go in there saying, look, pound for pound, we're probably fighting pretty well. It's just our offense is having a tough time getting the ball moving. So defense, huddle together, pat yourselves on the back and say, well done. But I want to spend some time with my offense, and we want to try and learn from them. What are you seeing? Let me compare that with what I'm seeing. And let's try and draw up some things that are a bit easier to execute. Because what I want is I want my offense to have some confidence coming out in the second half that we can put a little bit of a run together and get a drive with a few first downs and show when we want to call a play, we can execute that play.
Of course. I think I would, if I was Jesse right now, I'd be going down, talking to my receivers and diagnosing what I see. So we know that they love to play a one high and bring that safety down to the slot. So I'd be using that to our advantage, running some out routes with the in route, breaking in routes from the outside. And if I was the Wolves, I'd just be encouraging them to do the same thing as they've been doing, Keep fighting, let Phillips take the charge and just yards by
do you think
yards.
that's what Jason Ray's halftime speech is going to be?
Oh, no.
I think he's going to have...
He's going to be still having a go at them because they're not up by that much.
I'm also going to tell you, Matt Phillips is coming off the field and he's shaking his head. Like he
not happy.
knows
He's
that
not happy.
they've played well in that first half, but those last couple of drives, things just didn't quite come up the way he wanted.
Yeah.
And such is the determination and the intensity of the way the man plays the game. He's up 23-0.
He's a very hard player to
He's
impress.
not happy.
He gets in his head very easy, and if he doesn't like what he sees, then it's not going to be good. I've played alongside him in Canada when we played for Australia, and it was very hard.
Aussie rep like you.
Oh, mate, he was very, very in his own head when things didn't go his way. But that being said, they've taught us to just let it out, goldfish mentality, and he'll come out next half and absolutely kill it.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to take the break here for halftime too. And if you'd like to join me in the second half, I'd love to extend the invitation. But if you'd prefer to watch from other places, you can definitely feel free to do so. But thank you so much for your time in the first half, James
Thank
Henneke.
you.
Great wide receiver from the Centurions who's joined me here for the first half.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you
worries.
all in about 15 minutes back for the other side of half time. And currently here, it is the Gungahlin Wolves in control, 23 points to 0 over the Gladiators Football Club. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Parents or mates watching.
Couldn't stay away. Couldn't stay away.
I love it. You've got nothing else that you might as
It
well.
is good.
Might as well come up. It's a different. I like watching it up here. It's different.
It's not fun. You see a lot from it. So I haven't been able to solve the 216's problem, but I worked out who number 50 is. It's his phone number. Still on this sheet. I thought team sheets might solve it for me, but they didn't. Okay.
We're about to return for the second half here at Greenway Oval for this game between the Gladiators on our near sideline of green and the two-time champion Gungahlin Wolves in the grey. Currently, the Wolves lead this one by 23 points at half. We've seen this as a game where the Wolves have had a large amount of control, and then they also generated some turnovers with 2 intercepts late in that second half. But somehow, like after they were finding it easy to score early on, the Gladiators' defense has definitely clamped things down and managed to go quite a few series there without conceding any points. Haven't scored any of their own yet, but are doing a pretty good job in stifling this Gungahlin team. They were held to a field goal to end the half, and now, after a bit of time in their own sheds, they'll come out with hopefully a nice renewed approach to try and help get themselves on the board. They're going to have to wrestle the ball off this Wolves team first, though, who had the weight of possession in the first half. But that's where we stand. The next round here at Greenway Oval, the American Football ACT is partnering with a wonderful charity called I Got You. It's a mental health charity which will hopefully help promote a little bit of awareness and educating some actions you can take if you know the folks around you are struggling with a bit of mental health. And all proceeds from our canteen will be going to that charity next week. So it's a great time to come down to the Gridiron, spend a little bit of money at the canteen, and know that's going to go and help a good cause for mental health, which we know is so important in our community. Luke Hall is about to kick this one off, and for the second half, I'm going to be joined, much like the first half, by our great local wide receiver here, James Henneke, the Red Bull from the Centurions. Welcome back for the second half, mate.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure to be joined by you, mate, as we see this ball bounce down inside the 20. Nick Mattress picks it up and gets on the run. He stops, he turns, he pivots, he gets away from Izzy Gortuza to a degree, but Gortuza does chase him down and brings him down outside the 35-yard line. And that's where we're going to start this second half, with the Wolves on the attack, 65 yards from pay dirt.
We saw the Wolves going for a field goal at the end of the half, making the field goal, going up 23-0. So let's see what they come out of the gun here as we see the second half about to kick off, and we'll see how it all goes with them.
Now, we were talking before halftime about what we think the coaches may look to do, or what the strategy may look to be for these teams on the way out here in the second half. And we think largely the Gladiators defense was doing a really good job towards the end of that half, and as long as they can keep the bodies fresh and hydrated, maybe you don't change much. The Wolves, on the other hand, their defense has been great all day. Their offense has get stifled.
Of course. We see twins to both sides as the running back takes a shift over, and Matt Phillips is going to hand the ball off straight up the middle as they get a gain of about 6 to end the run.
He did not stop moving the legs either. This is Lionel George. He's there sharing that running backfield with a few different heads today, but he had a few nice runs in that first half. He goes and picks up just a little bit over 5 on that one. He just kept his legs churning, kept that ball in. That first contact was made not far across the line of scrimmage either. He just kept on going.
Of course it wasn't, no. Luke Hall coming down so hard on that, hey, as he always does. As you see, once again, they've got twins. Mattress to the open side. And they're going to hand the ball once off again, straight up to the outside. They've got a first down there and a gain of about 10.
Yeah, an excellent run off that edge too. Like the delay of George getting the ball and just kind of taking that hop step just gave his offensive line so much space to open up for George to run into.
So that delay step there gives an opportunity for him to read the O-line to see which way he wants to go. And it was a great read going out to the outside, taking the outside hip and gaining those extra 6 or 8 yards.
Yeah, he gained plenty there as they moved the ball up to almost halfway. And it's kind of funny because you think, you give the ball to your running back, you want your running back at top speed straight away. But they're showing sometimes just having that little beat can actually buy you more time. Come out with the same formation again. They've got 2 receivers on either side of the line of scrimmage, plus Lionel George in the backfield as Matty Phillips claps for that ball. Here it comes. He fakes the handoff and then looks down the field. It is behind, and Norris and Smith click ankles, and the ball falls harmlessly incomplete.
Good read there. If he'd put a bit more on it, it would have gone over. But I see the vision there with number 99, Jack, 89, Jack, 99, Jack coming down and dragging down that slot defender with leaving Damo the one-on-one. But that safety just came straight over the top.
Straight over the top.
Just straight over the top.
Just did a good job breaking that up, and now we're in a 2nd and 10 situation where, sometimes going for it on first down, you pick up a bunch of yardage. Other times now it just means that you've got to try and get the same yardage with one less play, and they're going to go back to the running game, and George gets a nice hole to run through. Hall, not fooled for a second, steps up, brings him down for a gain of about 3.
Yep, once again, that's a good read. Straight up the guts. That O-line tried to open it up there, but as we saw, we just had Luke Hall come straight downfield into the barrel and just absolutely shutting it down there.
So kind of in a situation like that, it kind of looks like both the running back did a good job identifying the hole, the linebacker did an equally good job of finding that point of attack and closing it down. So in both ways, it's kind of not a heap happens, but that's just good football, isn't it?
That's just great football there from the defense. They have a third and about 7 here as we see Jack Dugdale get the ball off of mid-screen, and he's going to get that first down with the gain of about 7 or 8.
Yeah, he pretty much knew where the marker was and got out of bounds just after he knew he'd passed it. And it's almost like a veteran move to do that, really. It's his 5th catch on the day, and he's very much looking the part, Jack Dugdale.
I think that's a great option from him, just sitting out of bounds. If he doesn't have the inside lane, just go straight out of bounds, stop that clock, get some regathering, and then it just gives you some extra time to get to the line. Matt Phillips takes a snap. It's going to be another jailbreak screen to the outside. Damon's going to take the outside lane, and he's going to look out of bounds with about again.
With a floppy throttle and just one hand, bro.
Damon Smith out there, and he's going both of these options for these 2 plays. This one, a really nice, handsome game, probably about 7 yards. Oh, maybe 6.
Seem to be connecting now. They're in sync, and now I wouldn't put it past them to take a shot down deep now. With about 25 yards to go, 35, I wouldn't. I'd give them
Just
a
trying
good,
to saw the field in
good
half
chance,
almost, yeah? We'll see what they do here, because this formation has not changed a lot. All they've done is kind of move where Mattress and Marshall are at the bottom end of the screen. They go for that short pass again.
Jailbreak once again, and they're going to, I don't know, did they get the first down? I would say no. Just one short, gain of 4.
Just a pinch short, and you run out of space over there pretty quickly. Do you prefer to take the contact to try and get the yardage, or would you just prefer to take the safety of the sideline, live to fight another day?
For me, I'd rather take the contact, get that extra yardage, because you know, field awareness, you know where you are on the field. If you get that extra yard, you're more likely to get that extra yard over the top, whether you take a hit, put your shoulder down and run through, or if you just take a dive over the top.
I'd like to think falling forward should also buy you a little bit, but not everyone's got the frame to fall forward, mate. I never did.
But Dano Smith did a good job there, pushing the ball a little bit forward, just try to get that extra yard, but they did not. So they're going to get that extra yard on the ground. That's
and they do it with
again.
some interest. That's a gain of probably almost 6 there as Lionel Dodge crosses the line of scrimmage, which was right at about a 5-yard line, which goes the expanse of the field, and moves the ball almost to the next 5-yard line. So he gets a gain of 4, a really nice run up the middle, and it keeps the drive alive. And a 3rd and 1 or 2, every play's open to you anyway.
Glad's going to take a time out there as they wanted to make a substitution, but didn't have the time to do it. And this gives the chance for the Wolves to come together, and they've got 4 downs. They've got 4 more chances.
Yeah.
And they're in about the 20, 27, 28.
Yeah, around about that.
Well, I wouldn't put it past them to take a couple shots down. They've got a couple chances.
They don't mind trying to get the points quickly, do they?
Exactly, no. They take a couple chances, take a couple of fields down, and then they always have totally as well to kick the field goal after if they don't make it, you know. If they get close to that 1-yard line, maybe they'll do it.
I mean, we've seen him send Tokley out for a field goal. It was one of the last plays of the first half. They sent him out there. He made a 32-yard field goal. Looked like it was a chip shot. And the other scores in this game too, we saw in the first quarter, Nick Mattress with the 7-yard touchdown catch from Matt Phillips. That extra point was actually blocked by the Gladiators in a great piece of defensive work. Also, Sam Thompson with a 14-yard run where the seas parted, and he ran straight down the middle.
That was amazing blocking there from the O-line, just doing
beautiful.
their jobs and making it easy for the running back to waltz in.
Yeah, I could have made that run. They just
I
opened
think
it
there's
so
a lot of
beautifully.
people that could, hey?
Just beautiful. The extra point successful, made it 13-0, and then Lionel Dodge had a 4-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. That extra point was successful to make it 20, and then we saw the field goal from Sean Tokley at the end of the half. But then that field goal was kind of isolated. There had been pretty easy scoring, and then all of a sudden this Gladiators defense really firmed up, frustrated this Wolves offense, and they've so far moved the ball with a relative amount of ease. We see Phillips get the ball. He hands to Dodge on the fake, but it comes to Mattress, who juggles 3 or 4 times before getting dragged over the sideline by Job Amanamoy, who's he's been fantastic since coming into the side last week.
Yes, his presence was felt last week on the field especially, and this week it's continuing to feel the same. He's making those hits and being where he needs to be.
Yeah, he sort of definitely has good nose for the ball. We knew that he was going to make a big impact defensively because they were missing Luke Hall last week. And this week with no Jack Panaccio, again, it's really handy to have somebody with the skill to be able to step into a role of somebody who's so experienced who's missing. And they've done a lot to frustrate this Gungahlin Wolves offense, and we're at 2nd and 5. So
they're also, keep in mind, they're also missing Jake. out there on their defense. So as he goes to the check down over the top, and he's going to get those extra yards. And great diving tackle there by Will Bennett, number 4, the safety.
Yeah, nice little bit of work too, because Marshall has been doing this through the game. He's taken catches and then taken yards after the catch. He does it again here for his 3rd catch and takes him down into a 1st and goal situation from what was around about the 20, or probably closer to the 22-yard line. Now it looks like they're right down at about the 8 or 9 yard line.
1st and goal in the red zone. Let's see what they come up with here. I wouldn't put it past them to take a shot here.
Yeah, this is definitely the sort of range where Phillips would look to be either have a crack at the pass first.
We're going to have a false start here. As we saw Mattress jetting across the formation, so I wouldn't put it past them that they were going to run the flood play that they usually do and then put it down to Mattress in the flats. But we have a false start on the far side, and that was Jack Marshall.
They seem to do this a bit too, where they'll, in that goal-to-go situation, they'll try the passing play first before coming back to try the run.
Of course.
Where I'd be the other way around. My first instinct would be, I'm so close, let's just see what damage I can do with the wrecking ball.
I couldn't agree with that, but I think that passing is the best way to go with. You have 4 options. You have 4 chances to make it into the end zone. And suss it out, see what the defense is going to do, get a couple of passes in, and if it doesn't work, you can always just punch in on the last 2.
Yeah, this Wolves team have always been a very aggressive passing offense. In the last few years, they've run this 4 wide receiver as their base, which is kind of rare. And it really helps open the field a bit for the quarterback to make a good read. Matt Phillips now is just taking a moment. He's talking to his team, changing the play maybe. He hands the ball off to Dorge in the backfield, and Dorge will just get to the line of scrimmage.
Luke Hall again.
But Luke Hall. Making it tough for Lionel Dorge up the middle. The Lion, they call him. And,
amazing stop there.
He'll lose a yard.
Well, there's not much you can do about that, hey?
No.
Luke Hall comes straight up the middle. There's not many people I know who could stop him.
No, and in Matt Phillips' position, do I want to take that contact, or would I prefer my running back took it? He can see what's coming.
Well, I think Matt Phillips looked at his edges and he saw that his edges were getting shut down, so he would have had to roll quite far around.
Safety first.
Of course.
He gets the ball in the back. He's coming on this flood to this left-hand side onto his strong side, being a left-handed quarterback. He pump fakes and gets got real good.
Steps out of bounds.
Comes and takes the ball out of bounds at around about the 6-yard line by the look of it. And safety first play again. Safety to the sideline, no contact. Got every yard available.
And Damon Smith seems to be down with a cramp. As we see Jordan helping him out there.
Stretching
but as he said, yes, great decision from Matt Phillips there. Safety first always. Run out of bounds, stop that clock, give them some extra time. You know, and it's always good they have, 1 more chance, 2 more chances to make it in?
Yeah, you're treating this like second down.
As you saw, the defense did very well at locking down those receivers and making sure that they couldn't get open. There are a couple opportunities there, but credit to Matt Phillips for rolling out and then going out of bounds, gaining those extra 5 yards instead of an incomplete pass.
It did sort of look like, too, where he had moments where there would have been a good window for the pass, were the moments he was under pressure and he didn't have the opportunity to set the feet. And by the time he did, they would have closed as well. So it was just everything a little off timing there. So we're getting the trainer engaged down in the end zone for Damon. We don't think there's any major injury in terms of like structural. I don't think it's contact. Not. We think it may have just been a soft tissue injury, but he's getting stretched out. He's got some help from a few folks in green, which is what I like about this league.
It's good. We're all tight in this league, and
everyone's playing for their team.
Good.
The second the whistle's off, we're all a community. You can see that.
So now I wonder who we're going to see come out and take Damo's spot, number 37. Doesn't seem to be on our list.
Haven't got a 37. So we'll see if we can.
Andrew Noble is coming out there as well.
Yeah, I'd say definitely you drag Noble in. He's
Mattress is over
very
on the
well
line.
Known receiver. 37 last year, I think, was Jake Caldwell.
Yes.
That's just relying on the old memory.
I have no idea. My memory's gone after that Capital Bowl. Shut it all out.
Yeah. Also, you kind of.
I did cop it.
You took a pretty nice shot that may have cleaned your clock a bit too.
Yeah, to be straight up underneath the helmet, but.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dragging him off the field now because he can't seem to move.
Yeah. So there you go. The old bum slide. You don't see that every day in the AFAC. So.
No, not at all. I don't think I've ever seen that. You see Jordan still over there trying to give him a hand. Dragging him off a little bit further now.
It's probably not how Damon thought his afternoon was going to go when he got up this morning. It was
no,
going to be
absolutely
slid
not.
by his ass across the.
I wouldn't put it that way either.
The grass of the hallowed turf here at Greenway Oval. what it does mean is we can pick up the action. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with Damon Smith in that background there. But in the meantime, we've got one receiver in isolation at the top, Jack Marshall. We've got trips down the bottom here, 37, Doug Dale and Andrew Noble. So no Mattress on the field at the moment. And Lionel Dodge to block. And he goes to the isolated player.
And good score.
6-yard passing touchdown for the Gungahlin Wolves. They extend their lead to 29 points.
Very nice route there from Jack Marshall. Just the easy little whip, make the defender come inside and then cut back out, and very well led by Phillips. And then just the through the contact for Marshall just to finish it off. Get those extra yards down the end.
It's the second passing touchdown today too for Matt Phillips. First one in the first half was to Nick Mattress off the field for that play, which is not usually what you would see down in this part of the field. You'd usually want to have him out there. But with that, still plenty of options, and they went to the isolated player at the top. Noble has to reach a long way up to get that down, and the result is that the kick is pushed wide.
So now he is 3-2.
He's
sorry, yeah, see that very often.
He doesn't miss many, but there you go. That one is
him
missed.
and John, the two kickers in the league. You don't see them miss very often.
No, you don't. You don't.
Usually if they miss, it's a mistake on the holder, or the snap's just not off and their timing is out.
It's almost always the case, right?
I will take credit for that.
Unit?
As a holder, I will take credit for that as well. Today, in the one he missed, he just kicked me straight in the hand. So that's just what happens. We misplace the ball. Things happen. Sometimes you lean it a little bit too far away from you, a little bit too far in. And it all depends on the laces as well. The laces aren't pointing up.
We were talking to John about that last week. We're doing a bit of kicking work with him. Manjot and I were out there talking to him a bit about the science of kicking.
I did notice that.
Yeah. He gave us some great nuggets about, especially about ball tilt. Tilting towards or away from you as the holder can really influence the point of contact.
Of course it can.
So, yeah, there was just we learned a lot, and I think it'll help Manjot and I be better at commentating around those sorts of players, because they look simple, right?
Yeah.
But the mechanics of what it takes to get the ball snapped, caught, down.
You think kicking the football would be easy? Yeah, it's not.
Well,
especially on a kickoff like this as well.
Like if you watch the NFL, you go, oh, they make that 98% of the time. That must be simple.
It's not. There's a lot of components to it, and especially they practice that every day. You know, that's their job. That's what they get paid to do. So they just stand there and they kick all day. Yeah. But there's a lot of components with the snap has to be perfect. The hold has to be perfect. You know, has to be pointing the right way. Can't be lent. Can't be anything. You know.
It's a full machinery setup. Isn't
they have a spot and they want it in that spot.
And Tugler gets this one down. It's going to get
stopped
by big Izzy Gortuza, who. I don't want you running slowly, mate. I want your head of steam up. And he comes around the side and he gets
pants pulled down.
Pants half pulled down. He's going to get pulled down with his pants at about.
Can we blow that out, please?
He's just can we get a modesty screen? He's on the ground. He's up. Dacks are up, and 25 yards is where we're going to start with this ball. When you've got a big returner like that too, do you want them doing a bit of sidesteppy work, or do you want them playing the fridge roll and just run over what's in front of them?
With Izzy, no. I just want them fully straight down the field, you know? If we have someone, let's say, like Mattress or Jermaine Stewart
those guys,
back there,
they got some
you'd want a bit of shifty. Yeah. But if you have a big guy back there like Izzy, or even from the sense like Will Clode or Mango, you just want them straight down the guts.
I'd love to see Mango return a kick, mate.
I think one day.
He's become a bit of a cult favourite in this league, isn't he?
One day.
Yeah. Now, he had another 100 yards rushing on the ground today to couple with his 100-odd last week as well. Had a touchdown last week, doubled that up. Had 2 this week, so in a nice
exceptional game from him with the absence of a couple of us receivers. So
yeah. And this is a nice run right up the middle here. They've handed the ball to Kane Mills, and he's going to act as a pseudo running back here. Doesn't get any gain, but nice contact up the middle. I'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Jesse Date once again back in at quarterback. We will see how he guides this offense down the field and if they can make it to the end zone.
Yeah, he had a bit of a tough first half. He completed 3 passes in the first half for around about 43 yards. And then he wound up being sort of part of the pseudo running game. Had 7 rushes for about 20 yards. It's, the defense chant comes up from the far side of the field as Date drops back. In this battle of left-handed quarterbacks, there's a flag coming in, which would make you think it might be a hold.
Out to the other side. He has the space. Noble comes down, steps 1, and is going to take the hit from Tom Wills.
Yeah, and that's about the best you can do, really, because we're probably going to get brought back for
I'm going to call holding on the offense, I reckon.
That's what we reckon. Like, the longer play goes on, right? What's the likelihood of offensive holding?
It's hard when the play goes dragged on that long and the offensive line are there. It's hard. Oh.
Yeah, That's it. We're going to wave the flag off and we'll take the result of the play. So nice work from Jesse Date. We're going to roll that thing forward. And he goes and picks up 11 yards. So we've got a little update here as Damon Smith is being sort of brought back to the... We've got a nice little marquee where they'll be able to work on him a bit more. So they're stretching him down there. We don't have any indication how serious injury is, but it looks like maybe we won't see Damon for the rest of the day. The result looks like it may be in hand, but we'll keep you updated. John Butterfield comes off that left edge and...
The flag on the play again.
Runs with some viciousness, gains about 3 yards, but we'll see what the flag is. And this is one of the nicest sights you'll see, though, for a player who's been carried to a medical tent, is that
by the opposing team as well
on that stretcher is for the opposing team. That's the community of American football.
I mean, he used to play for the Glads, so they all have a connection.
He did.
Some way. I did as well. We all have a connection, and it's just good to see that they're still all banding together and helping him out.
I mean, I never played for the Gladiators, but I reckon I'd be down there stretchering, or I'd be stretchering Gladiators. It's just the way the community works here. You just help each other out, mate.
Yeah, of course. That's the way it is.
But so we'll get you an update as soon as we can on Damon. But the play is here. We've got a 10-yard penalty for the hold, and we are at first now on the 26-yard line. So we're about a yard further than we were after the return on the kickoff.
Motion. Fly motion there. Bit of miscommunication. He will dump it off, and it'll be incomplete pass.
Yeah, but Dave O'Brien thought he was... Reece Cheetah thought he was off for a gallop to the end zone. Oh, it would have been hard to not want to just keep on going. But, yeah, just harmlessly falls out of Kane Mills' hands. It's not sort of we're not used to seeing Kane out there as a receiving weapon.
We're not.
We're used to seeing him on defense. His job is more to break up the passes and be a bit of an enforcer. So if we can make a little bit of an adjustment, because they're clearly just trying some things out. They want to try and see if they can hit on something here.
Yeah, of course. I like what they're doing there, seeing what the defense is going to do by bringing a motion across.
Yep.
And then diagnosing it from there. And he was open. He had that motion across and he had space. So it was a good call from Jesse to dump it off. Just softer hands needed to make that catch.
It was a good pass. Like those passes aren't as easy to make as you think, because you've got a player in motion, and if you throw it a little behind him or a little in front of him, it is
short
not
passes
easy.
are hard. Pass over the middle there. Tom Mills coming in, cleaning him up.
Yeah, that's one of those ones we were talking about before, where you run across the middle.
That's
and
a
you hear the
hospital
footsteps.
pass.
But as the receiver hits you in the hands, you're meant to catch it, but it's hard to concentrate.
Always very nerve-wracking when you're going across the middle and you know everyone sees you and they're coming down as hard as they can on you.
Yeah. Mate, I'm a bit of a small target to hit too, so you knew that when I was going across the middle, those big linebackers and safeties coming downhill, they don't mind giving a small guy their biggest shot.
Yeah.
Kate Mills not a small guy.
No.
Tom Wills still gave him his best shot. So I like to see
There's not much you can ask of him, as Tom Mills is back at safety instead of corner now.
Yep.
They're still playing one high, as we see the corners slightly drop back, 7 yards off from the ball. He's going to throw the ball for a slant. It's going to be nearly picked off by Noble, but Dave Casey coming in for the breakup.
Yeah, and that's defender. That's your attacker playing defense, pretty much, right? Yeah. You've had to do that before?
Yeah, of course. If the ball's not coming your way and you see a defender going for the ball, get in there, try break it up, stop them from getting the ball, give yourself another chance and a lifeline to go.
Well, they end up only gaining maybe 2 or 3 yards from that entire drive, and they'll punt it away here. We're trailing 29 points to 0. We've seen couple of updates here. So we've got Izzy Gortuzzo, who's out of the game. We've also had Aaron Gimley come out of the game for the Gladiators. We've got a calf, it looks like, maybe for Damon Smith getting worked on down there as well. So a couple of bumps and bruises in today's game, but that is looking much more encouraging down in the mid-tent for Damon.
Seemed to just be giving his calf a massage, so I assume it would just be a cramp, hopefully no tissue damage or muscle tears.
I hope so, because calves are a pain in the butt if it's really serious.
Great punt by Luke Hall.
That. Mattress doesn't even want it. That tells you a bit if Mattress doesn't want it, and that ball's going to bobble down to the 22.
Exceptional punt. I'd call that 30 yards in the air as they go down to about the 23-yard line to start this drive.
Just lovely. Just lovely. And that is going to take some pressure off this defense, right? We saw in the first half the Wolves had their way moving the ball around. They scored on their first drive here in the second half too, but it wasn't easy. And now they're giving their defense the best chance to try and force a little bit of field position.
Now coming out, this is the furthest back the Wolves have been this game.
Yeah, all day.
All day. So it's going to take a little bit longer for them to come up. We'll see how it goes. If Matt Phillips can take the charge, maybe get some deep balls in first try. I don't know. You've got four downs again, 10 yards. If I were them, I'd throw a couple, make the defense drag out, and run a couple.
I think when you've got the luxury of the lead, you want to do that, right? When it's a tussle or you're trailing, you're playing from behind, you don't necessarily have all these things at your disposal. But when you're leading with a little bit of comfort, you can...
With a 20, no, it's more now, 29-ish point lead.
29, that's right.
You have a bit more leniency. So
Yeah,
if I were you, I'd just be going down straight away.
So.
Thank you. Big catch by Jack Dugdale. And that'll be about a 50-yard gain for him as the ball comes out, but it's going to be ruled dead. Big catch there over the middle for Jack.
Wow, how about that? And that is just one of those field-flipping plays that just happens out of nowhere. They start on their own 22. They're going to get marked down at the 22 at the other end, 23 at the other end. Flip the field almost exactly.
No, flip the field exactly. You are right. 23 yards to 23 yards. So that was about a 50-yard gain nearly.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Not bad at all.
They would bring some confidence onto this offense, and they would be powering through the rest of it now.
It's the biggest play of the day since we saw Ben Wells rip that fumble this morning and truck it back 60 yards.
That was crazy.
That was mental. This is the second biggest play of the day since then. And we think that's a 54-yard pass and catch. So here we go. We've got the ball off to Sam Thompson, who is running with reckless abandon. He's going to be brought down in a body tackle.
Called that about a 4-yard gain for Will Thompson out there.
And looking good. He's got all that speed back, and he suffered a pretty rough leg injury in juniors. And missed
I still remember that.
the whole back end of the season. It was a really traumatic leg. And look at him. He's running with absolute freedom.
He's doing exceptionally well coming back from this injury. With what, a year? He had a year off. He came back last year, a year after doing it, and he absolutely killed it. And now he's going to move out to the slot as we have number 80, Owen Lewis, coming in at running back.
Fantastic. I love that. So, Phillips.
He's going to hand it off. Owen's going to hit the A gap, get taken down by Kane and Luke.
Yeah, some big bodies in there to bring in the contact. And 52, I think, Stuart Cone. And he's going to get 2 yards probably for that. We'll give you 2 yards, though. It's nice to see him out with the ball in hand, though, because we've seen him on defense.
Defensive players coming over, yeah. Well, I remember when he played for the Glads, he used to play running back as well.
Yeah, he did.
Be handing it off to him a couple times.
Love those days. They were the days, weren't they? But here he is in a Wolves helmet, and he moves to the other side of Matt Phillips now, and they've got the pitch, and he takes it to the side, cuts back, puts the right foot in the dirt, leaves 2 men, broke ankles there. One of them frustrated as heck, thumping the ground.
Coming in with the tackle once again. He is everywhere, isn't he?
He is, and we've got a flag on the far side, so it'll just be interesting. It may be defensive holding. I don't know. I definitely saw like the holding sign, but I haven't seen an indication of which side it's for. So, going to get together. The Zebras will get together and have a chat about it. So, it were great days watching Owen Lewis and Damo and yourself all in the same colour, though.
Me, Damo, Owen, Matt Phillips.
Matty Morrison. Yeah, some good old days.
Those were the years.
They were the days. But as is often the way,
you move
talent, and especially once you're out of, like the juniors, there was a period where there was only 2 teams, right? So then once you get to seniors and there's more options, and then often you see that talent disperse, and it's great to see, because we haven't seen it for a long time, seeing Owen with the ball in hand, because he is quite a natural runner of the ball.
Of course, with his rugby league background, yeah. Rugby league background down here in Tuggeranong, just, having his fun.
Cutting in and out a little bit, I think. Batteries may be a bit stressed. At the end of this drive, do you want to? At the end of this drive, do you want to do a swift? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So you guys use this one.
Matt Phillips over the middle. It is tipped off and nearly picked. Luke Hall with the tip, nearly picked off by Will Bennett there, as the Wolves are on the 12-yard line, coming in hot to try and make that.
This brings us down to a 2nd and 10 now, so no gain really on that one. So we've had microphones have they've been well used today, and just need a little bit of a break. So we're doing a couple of swap around here, and so the audio may change a little bit, but bear with us. We've got the Wolves well on the attack here, well inside the 10-yard line, and Phillips drops back, looking to his left, finds, Jackson Reed over the middle, but it bounces off his hands, and
Jackson Reed.
have a look
37.
at... 37. I think that might be Jake Caldwell. We've got Bennett too. He just thought he was going to grab himself an intercept, but
Calf?
he's just bounced out of his way. We're getting an update from, do you want to say, from the receiver's mouth?
Yeah, Damon Smith telling me that it's a calf. He did a couple years ago as well, and it just keeps coming back up. But he's walking. He seems to be doing very well, so we'll see him back over on the Wolves' sideline in a short bit.
Yeah, calf's
As
going to be
Phillips
pretty tough.
hands the ball off to Owen Lewis, taking it in the gap, and he's going to get taken down again.
Well, now this brings up 4th down, and it's going to bring down about 4th and maybe about 5 yards to go. And that's not, and goal to go 5 yards away. It's probably going to be closer to 10 yards.
He's on the ground.
So yeah, we've got a Gladiator down. I can't see Luke Hall, so I'm just thinking by process of
I think
elimination, it might be him in the big
I
white
can
helmet.
see those blue boots. That is Luke Hall down, taking a second. So hopefully he's all right. He's up on his feet. Seems to be okay. As we see Tyler McShane checking in on him, the ball boy from the Saints.
Yeah, but Tyler McShane, he will be a little filthy. He was filling in for you out there a little bit in the earlier game, mate.
Yeah, well, he didn't expect to be in the pads today, so
No.
it's good to see him out in the field getting in his receiver reps, though. So
It is. Oh, he had one down here on this, near right corner, where he beat his man too,
Yes,
and
I
I
have
think
that- I
he
have
might
that
have
on
just
video.
he might have just surprised himself because I think maybe
he didn't think the ball was going to come, but it did.
yeah, I
was
don't
right
think he
there.
was expecting that. But Tyler, it's good to see him in the pads because he had all of last year off, and it is weird to see him in number 40 though after we've been so accustomed to seeing him number 5. So.
Soon. He'll get his 5 back soon.
He'll be back. But here we go. We've got trips at the top, the near side of the screen, and we're just going to move Owen Lewis to the wide side. We've got Jake Caldwell in isolation, and Phillips drops back. He's looking. There's nothing happening, so he's going to take the run himself, and he's going to get close to the end zone. He's going to push and push and push, and he is in for the touchdown. Matt Phillips taking it into his own charge, but not alone. He gets the help and the push from the Wolfpack to drill that one into the end zone, and that's going to put him out to 35-point lead, which will put us in the running clock situation.
Very nicely read there. No receivers were open. He was signaling to Mattress to move across the field to get that safety out of the way, and then he just had a clear lane, and there was a bit of contact down at the end, but credit to the Wolfpack to push him over the line.
Yeah, and that is a touchdown run for Matt Phillips after he's thrown 2 touchdown passes today as well. He gets it done lots of ways. We've seen him have a receiving touchdown this year too, mate.
Yeah, a couple, haven't we?
Do it all. He's a terror. We got the special teams unit out there now. It's Noble with the hold, and we've got Sean Tokley looking to put through an extra point. No worries. Nice and crisp. That puts us out to a score of the Wolves now up to 36, and the Gladiators about to get the ball back.
Brilliant.
So as we get down to the, we're in the second half, a pretty hot afternoon here for Canberra standards in a, in an
25
October
degrees.
day.
No clouds over the field, so that sun is beaming directly on it, and it is hot out there in those pads and helmets.
What is it like on a hot afternoon like this when you wear black as well? So that's not exactly the most colour, the most reflective colour for light.
No,
Does it add a bit of discomfort to have the helmet and the pads on all afternoon like this?
Yeah, it does, but that's where the hydration comes in and the water comes in, and you have people on your sideline who are there to help you, but it does bring in a massive factor because it gets really hot in those pads and helmets after not taking it off for a while, and it just sticks to you, and it's not very nice. You get very sweaty.
Now I've got just another update too. It looks like Ryan Murphy from the Gladiators side. Number 92 is coming from the field as well. It's been a long, hot afternoon, especially I think for some of the bigger guys. It can be quite hard in the heat when you're just clashing with people all day. But here we go. We've got a return from Kyle Smith from his own 10-yard line. He breaks one tackle and then lunges forward and gets out to the 31-yard line. And we're going to see them take up possession from there.
We'll see how this all plays out. Hopefully they can make something happen of this drive. guess we'll find out.
Well, you hope so. You've seen that the Gungahlin Wolves, they've managed to put together a couple of touchdown drives in the first half. They got a field goal and a third touchdown. And now here they are in the second half. They've scored 2 more, so they're feeling pretty comfortable. They've got a 5 touchdown lead. And we're in a situation now with the clock will continue to roll, whether there's a stoppage or not. The Wolves have, once you get to 35 points, they say, hey, we'll keep the clock rolling for when the ball goes out of bounds or when there's a change of possession until that lead shrinks to less than 35 again. Then at this stage, it's not like there's an outcome that's in question. What they're trying to do now is to try and make sure the game healthy, safe, fun. They're not out there so get chippy. Sometimes these sort of things can get a bit frustrating. So it's all in the aim of trying to get the game to play out the most natural way. Flags all over the place. I think we may have seen some players on the offense take a little head start.
Couldn't agree more with you. But as we said, yeah, this league's just about being fun. Having fun, everyone's trying to get involved. We're trying to spread this game, make this game bigger than it is. Because we love it down here. Every single player who plays the interactions this sport. We love it. And so, the more people we have healthy and playing, the better it is, the longer the games go, We've seen the last couple of weeks that the games end at half time because of injuries and lack of numbers.
Yep.
But that's sometimes the way it goes.
Right?
That's the way it goes. Safety is key when it comes to this sport. That's why we wear pads and helmets. Because if you see some of the hits that some of them take.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be down on this line like right here where you've got all these big boys all down on their knees, ready to spring out and check that out. Nice catch there from Date as he gets the low snap and he turns upfield. He actually gets inside of one of the players, gets himself a gain of about, he's probably 3 yards from the first down. He's probably gained about 10, 12 yards on that run.
Very nice run there as you saw that Jackson Regan shut down his pitch relation, and then on the inside you had a nice cheap little block coming in and giving him some extra couple of yards.
Date's done most of the damage on the field with concern to the running game today. That'll end the third quarter with the score 36 to Gungahlin, and the Gladiators will be looking to take up what they're doing here in the final quarter and try and get some scores on the board. Jesse Davies has 3 different rushes for 10 yards or more, and that's kind of been the biggest plays in the running game, all come from him. But then also, we've got 3 passes that have been caught since kicked this game off. One of them was 24 yards in the game to Casey. And then Butterfield has also been involved in the passing game as well, but they have really lent on the running game to get the ball moving, and it's largely been Jesse Davies.
Yeah, well, as a quarterback, and if the run game isn't working, there's not much you can do. You just want an extra block and get that running back in front of you and follow him behind and get those extra yards.
It's also had the presence of mind, I think, too, just to take the ball down instead of throwing a risky pass. There's a couple of intercepts. It's difficult to protect the ball in the best of times, but he's definitely tried to use the better judgment, and when it's not there, take the ball down and take off with it as well. We're about to kick this fourth quarter off with the ball on the 37-yard line coming out, so they're headed towards halfway. And hopefully we can just see them keep this little drive that they've started here. They're second down. They've got about 4 yards to get to try and help keep this drive moving. It's good to see that there's some positive.
They have started to get the ball moving, and I think they're building a bit of confidence, Jesse Date especially, coming down this field, so it's good to see them.
Ball is in play now, and the clock starts. We're still in that rolling clock situation, so
15 minutes to
go.
go.
Started now, and they've come out with split backs behind Jesse Date, so a new formation, and they're going to use that to provide options. And Date will hold it, turns upfield, beats one man, gets across the first down marker before he's brought down by Ethan Morton. That'll be a first down and a gain of about 6 yards for Jesse Date. Ball up to the 44-yard line, and now all of a sudden you've got a first down.
Yeah.
A bit of momentum. This is a good thing, right?
This is a confidence boost for them, definitely. As they come in with the first down, they're looking to move it a little bit more, maybe keep the run game going because that seems to be working. Maybe they'll float some of out. We see Jordan warming up down here in the bottom of the field, so maybe they're going to have a quarterback change in a little bit. But
3. What's that, gain of 4?
Gain of 4 there on the play.
Yeah, round about 4, you reckon. So you can see what the design of the play was, right?
Yeah, that little
you're running
flood
that play.
concept coming around. So you had your little waggle route off from the slot, and the job for those backside receivers is just to get your ass over to the other side of the field so you can get in the quarterback's view. But you had that go and you had that little out route coming in, which is perfect for the quarterback to read, either hit it, or take the ball himself. You know, see green, take green. That's what they like to say. See grass, take grass, you know. As a quarterback, that's a very good thing, and then hit that outbound, hit that boundary line.
Well, I mean, at this point, he's more than half the amount of field you had left. You're 7 yards out, now you're 2 yards out. Every play is designed to get you 2 yards or more, so every play in the playbook's open.
I'd say they would hand the ball off here to one of their strong running backs they've had today and just punch it in for this last score.
Gosh, and we'll see who they've got out there at running back at the moment, because they've been cycling that around. It looks like it's going to be Sam Thompson who's out there at the moment. He already has a rushing touchdown from that 14-yard run in the first quarter. And the score at that stage, he elevated from, it was 6 points nil at that stage, he elevated to 13-0 at that point. And they've got 3 receivers on this near side of the screen.
Switch it.
And call in isolation at the top. They're going to switch which side Thompson's on. And there is a little bit of movement on that offensive line. It is being called a false start.
OP. 63, that's OP.
There we go.
That's big Adam OP. So not much you can do about that. The slightest bit of flinch will get the refs to call them offside. We've seen it happen a lot this game.
Just heard the clap, and the ball didn't go. So that's it.
As you said before,
what
play death.
Yep.
Make sure you're just watching the ball. As the O-line, it's hard to watch the ball, but
You're
you just have to
reliant
know
on
the
the clap.
cadences. They're going to put the ball up into nowhere. No man's land.
Yeah. It's up into the sky, and it kind of looked like maybe he thought Marshall was going to break towards the corner. He didn't. And the ball, at least, it falls harmlessly away, but maybe just a little miscommunication about where that route tree was supposed to develop to.
Of course.
So,
And there's not much you can do about that in that situation. It was a good vision from Phillips, but just way to put it in the grass where no one was going to get there.
yeah, you're not going to cause any problems by doing that.
Yeah.
So, Matty Phillips, he's been completing pretty well today. He's got all his 4 main receivers have 4 catches or more. He's been distributing it well. Means overall he's got sort of around 20 completions out there and been doing it in little bits and bites. He's had that one big 54-yard bomb, but everything else has been 20 yards and shorter, just kind of taking what's there.
Yeah.
And protecting the ball, no turnovers.
As you see, Phillips in the shotgun, looking to the side, pump fakes down to Mattress, who's going to get in for the touchdown.
Wow, and that was joystick maneuvering as he beats Biamonte and then turns the other way to beat Bennett. Fantastic piece of play there.
I described Mattress. He's he's a Madden player, mate. He's controlled by someone in a controller. Here we go. He's going to look up and celebrate.
And there you go. So it's a 7-yard reception to Nick Mattress. His second 7-yard reception touchdown of the day.
2 today. Still think I have more.
And that's his 8th catch as well.
Amazing.
So it puts the Wolves on to 44 points while we send Tokley out for the extra point. There's a little juggle on that one, but no troubles. Straight down the middle, 8-0-0.
That's expected from Totley. That is expected.
And the Wolves jump out to 43 points.
About 6 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
They jump out to 43 points now. And last time they met the Gladiators was just 2 weeks ago. They went ahead and won that one by 40. And at this point, that was a game that actually it ended quite quickly. It was around half-time that they called that one. Might have been early in the 3rd. So this game here, though, we're at a position where they've really put the fight up all day. And they've found it hard to move the ball on offense. Defensively, they've been far better than the 43 points says. But say, gee, if they could pull that offense together a little bit, then they have a bit more of a shout. And pound for pound, too, they're playing quite a few heads down compared to what we've got going on over there on that Gungahlin solo. We've got a bit more depth.
Definitely. I think there's a lot of positives that the Glads can take out of this game and a lot of things that they can also work on. But I think that's always the case for every single game.
Yeah, you'll always find you should never have a coach who's super satisfied, hey?
It's going
to be an illegal procedure for that kickoff going out across the sideline. Goes out at about the 15-yard line. So in terms of just if you're playing force and backs, that's not a bad kick, but you've got to keep the kickoff inside the field of play. They'll just take the field position and won't force them to re-kick it. You get the option of forcing the kicker to re-kick it 5 yards further back than the original spot, or just taking the yardage that comes with the penalty, and they'll do that. They'll bring the ball out to the 35-yard line. Just one of those lovely moments where you get to interact with some of the folks from this great community, and my old teammate, Paris, who's been a big player for this Gladiator side in the past. His number 4 is actually out there being repped at the moment by young Bennett as well, and it's nice to see him up here. He came and gave me a sneaky little hug. The love affair still continues for me in Paris, by the way.
That's what we say. This league is all about just friendships.
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
Yeah, everyone knows each other and everyone's friends with each other. Just on the field, we're not.
No, that's in between the whistles. And here we go. Speaking of, as we see the ball trucked up by Butterfield, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more as he hits the Ethan Morton wall.
Change of quarterback here.
And
Jordan seems to be in.
We can see that they're mixing things up a bit.
Jordan
Nakora is going to run this offense now for the last part of this quarter. Not only are we a bit in the running clock situation, it's kind of been exacerbated to the point where it'd take a few scores to bring that back in now, since 35 points is the marker, and currently the score's 43.
Have about 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter as we see Jordan surveying his defense, counting up his box, which is one of the most important things you can do as a quarterback. With their double back, 2 in the backfield, 1 on each side, and a tight end in. He's going to fumble the snap. He's going to run it. He's going to keep going, and he's going to run out of bounds after he does a little juke step, baiting that defense to come down.
Yeah, and we reckon he'll go and get himself maybe a little bit more than half, 7 yards perhaps. He's going to get a pretty generous spot. They're going to put him closer to the marker than I thought. But do you see how much time he has? Isn't it?
It's amazing. I feel like the time just slows down when he gets the ball, hey? Do you notice that too? Like, it's just people don't seem to want to run over there.
Well, and then he slows down, but then his next 2 steps, he picks the pace up quite a bit.
I think that might be a rugby background for him, hey? Rugby, that seems to be the little goosey steps that you see in rugby, or the little side steps you see people take.
Making space. You see like Mark Nawakinitawaze doing. He just makes space.
Exactly.
So here we go. Gets another low snap, and he picks it up and ball in one hand, swims it over the top of the back, and then hands it out to Butterfield on a late pitch, and that is going to be first down yardage plus. He's going to probably gain another 9 yards beyond the first down marker.
That is something you don't see every day.
To the lateral. How about that?
That is very rare here in the ACT League, seeing a lateral pass. You saw one today in the Sense game with Jackson Nelms taking a pick and laterally passing it over to Harry, our corner, but
definitely don't see it on an intercept very often.
No.
I'll tell you that. So.
I think that's a very rare thing, especially after taking 2 hits. 2 people making the miss and then just casually passing it off.
We've seen things less common in this league more recently too. Like we've had 3 extra point attempts that have been drop kicks. We've had 2 field goals, like planned field goals in as many weeks as well. So things that aren't so common. As Bennett catches this one from the left, and he just sits his corner down on his butt with great contact, and then trucks and trucks, and he's going to be very close to that first down.
Jordan
I think he might be getting the signal.
He seems to be comfortable now playing back in the quarterback spot, taking his reads very easily and just putting them on his chest perfectly where they need them to be. And then it was up to Will Bennett, who did an excellent job at yards after catch, breaking one of the tacklers, chucking them down to the ground. But that number 82 still managed to holding on. No, 92. 92. Still no 92. That looks like little Ben O'Brien.
It might be Benny O'Brien. He played in the juniors earlier. And we just haven't had a number for him, but you can recognise him everywhere. He and Charlie are built about the same, aren't they? So here we go as Jordan Nakora runs, and he's out to the right. He's just deciding if he should cross the line of scrimmage or not. He doesn't. He's indicating that he wants his receiver to come back, but it is going to be picked off short of the end zone, and that is the end of that drive, sadly, but a nice piece of defensive work.
And that is going to be the end of the game.
Excellent work there. I'm still trying to catch a number plate on our interceptor here.
Tom Willis.
I think it is, yeah, Tom Willis. There you go. Let's confirm that one because I like to try and write those down with the team stats as well. Who took the turnover? But what a way to finish this game. The final score in this one, we see the Wolves with 43 points over the Gladiators, and they do it in a style that is just so Wolvian. They create turnovers, they don't give you any opportunities, and they strangle you slowly.
Yes, they just have a swag about it from when they play football, and it's always an enjoyable sight to watch and play against. So I really, really enjoy it, and it's really good to watch them absolutely come out and do their jobs, you know.
Well, and now you look at the way this league stands. You've got both yourselves, Centurions, and this Wolves team now have made it through since having that tie in first round, gone and won each year 4 games. That makes next week must-see TV.
It's going to be a very good game. You know? The first week we played them, we drew 7-7, and that was an exceptional game of football. Next week is going to be a must-see game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a must-win for both of us.
Yeah.
So it'll come out either way. One of us could come victory, whether it's the Saints or the Wolves. But either way, we're going to love it, and it's going to be a great game of football. And
I think this is so true for both the games next week, right? Advantage whoever wins next week between ourselves and the Wolves. The top spot, right?
Yeah.
Because that puts you in the bottom seat to have that week off leading in the grand final. Whoever finishes this league this year in the regular season top spot by the end of 9 rounds gets their ticket stamped straight to the capital pot, right? 2 versus 3 is something we haven't had for a lot of years, but the other game next week is going to really do a lot to inform that. The Stars won in week 1, and we know that the Gladiators have got that circle to get some revenge back, and if they can pull that off, all of a sudden, that 2 versus 3 game, number 3 is up for grabs entirely.
It's going to be a very, very interesting week next week as we see teams coming in for that spot and seeing that's how the rest of the season is going to play out. I would arguably say next week decides the rest of the season for those teams.
It makes it much more difficult for the team who doesn't come away with that result. Yeah. And
of course.
I mean, it only serves to make a really spicy matchup in that week 8 when you meet again.
It's going to be a fighting game. It's going to be a very fighting game.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here after we see this result here. We had the earlier game today, saw the Centurions win with a bit of comfort over the Stars side. And then here we go, we've got a 43-point score from the Gungahlin Wolves over the Gladiators in what was a really tough day out here in terms of conditions and heat. And we saw plenty of players leaving the field a little early, either through exhaustion, small injuries, sometimes bigger injuries as well. But hopefully everyone will be up for it for next week in week 6. We've got some of the biggest matchups of the season. James, yourself, you're looking to be all fit to go for next week after coming out of your game earlier this week?
Should be absolutely looking forward to coming back. Take this week as a rest week and power through on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday trainings, and then come back Saturday ready to go.
There we go. So you hear it first here. Top of the table clash between both 4-1 teams, Centurions and Wolves, right here on this field at Greenway Oval. It's going to be I Got You week as well, where the league is pairing up with charity I Got You, which is around mental health awareness. And you know, it's just so much we can do in the community about identifying where we can help people with mental health concerns, or also just trying to provide good support and options for people to identify when they identify themselves. So that is going to be something that is driven next week here by the AFACT, and every dollar that goes through our canteen is going to go to that charity. So come on down to the ground, watch that top of the table clash. The other clash is all about what could happen for 3rd place. There are implications for both of those games in a way that, you know, you just can't.
Of course.
You couldn't have scripted that when we started the season, that both these games are going to be so important the second time round. So come and find us here at Greenway Oval. Get down in person, support the canteen and support a great charity.
Yeah, very well said.
Well, we can see the Wolves going through their post-game celebrations. As you do when you're the winning team, you like to start with that and give yourself a big cheer at the end, as you do when you've got the highest scoring offense in the land. The Gungahlin Wolves with 43 points today will do a lot to keep themselves in that spot. We will see you all next week. We may even have the return of the famous Manjot Melly next week. But either way, we've got a nice stable of great talent here to talk to, who play in the league, who coach in the league, who are just involved. So we'll bring you perspectives from all sorts of parts of the league, and we'll catch you all then next week. On behalf of American Football ACT, we'd like to thank you all for spending your afternoon with us, and we'll catch you next week.